I'm glad that's the intro this morning, Johnny, because I stand by my wonderful analysis. Eagles offense stinks, and you asked the question. We'll find out whether or not Howie Roseman and Jeffrey Lurie noticed the boos that took place Friday night at Lincoln Financial Field. Would they make any changes? Well, Nick Sirianni still not making any changes. Kevin Patullo will remain as the offensive coordinator and play caller for the Philadelphia Eagles. Good morning, Johnny. How are we today?
I'm doing all right. It's chilly out there, so be prepared. The roads are going to be a little slippery early.
I have not taken the jacket off yet.
You haven't decided to do that yet. It was chilly this morning.
I just want to I'm like the frosting from the drive-in this morning.
It was cold. When the rain comes or whatever, snow comes or whatever it's going to be bad for a little while. So if you have a chance to not go anywhere, don't go anywhere this morning, and then it'll be fine. It'll get warm later.
And if you are going somewhere, just drive carefully.
But, yes, it's been a weird few days though, hasn't it?
Yeah, because the Eagles are in a weird stretch right now where
we're all in a weird stretch.
Their offense is non-existent.
Yeah.
All right, so before the season, well before the season started, you and I were having some fun with the road to the repeat.
You mean April 9th?
Is that when I called it that?
You mean April 9th?
Wow, I didn't realize it was that far back.
Remember, I keep everything.
So we are a week away from it being 8 months removed since I said the road to the repeat here on Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic, about the Eagles trying to get back to the Super Bowl. We wanted to finally say the D word, which is dynasty.
And I told you ridiculous.
Well, no, again.
No, I did. That's what I told you.
No. See, this is where you keep on forgetting the whole conversation. If they were to have won the Super Bowl, we would finally be able to call them a dynasty. I was not saying that they were already a dynasty.
Yeah, no, what I'm saying to you is that I said I did not even want the word said because the idea of winning back-to-back Super Bowls was like a concept. Let's crawl before we walk. Let's
that's
even
why
get
we said the D word.
That's
why we didn't actually say the word, John.
I believe you did say the word, and I told you to stop saying it. So you see, now you're changing it.
Now all of a sudden he's acting like I jinxed it.
No, I don't believe you jinxed it.
So,
I just said to you it was ridiculous.
Is that dream dead?
No.
You believe the dream of getting back to the Super Bowl and winning the Super Bowl with the 2025-26 Eagles is still alive?
Absolutely, no questions asked. That it's still alive. Now, are we in ICU at the moment? I think we are one step from ICU.
Okay.
So if we're talking about we're in the hospital, we're in a private room.
Okay.
But we are not under 24-hour medical care where we're not in like a ventilated tent.
Sure.
But absolutely, I believe that dream's alive because I've watched the rest of the league. And I realize that the Eagles have got their issues. But one of the things I know about the Eagles is they beat good teams. They find a way to beat good teams better than any of the other teams. So to me, they're absolutely the dream, as you say dream, and you use that word, and that's important. The dream is...
Right, because you're not predicting that they are going to win it. You're just talking about, the dream.
And you know, the dream's alive, and I can actually see it, but it's absolutely more fuzzy than it was, say, a month ago.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you right now, the dream's dead. I don't think there is a shot in hell that they are getting back to and winning the Super Bowl.
So you say 0.00
yes.
that they're even getting back to the Super Bowl?
Yes. I have watched the team have no offense for almost 12 weeks this season. I have seen 11 games where we have come away upset with the offense. So when you heard the intro there, when I said this Eagles offense stinks, it sucks, quote that, post that, I'm going to go back to my incredible analysis as if I'm Dan Orlovsky, John. The Eagles offense sucks. And for 11...
How long did that take to come up with?
It was a long drive in this morning.
Yeah.
Out of 12 games, 11 games, we have had an issue with the Eagles offense, and not an issue because of a drive or two. We have had an issue for entire halves, right? Now, 9 of 12 games this year, the Eagles have scored a touchdown or less in an entire half. 3 times this season, I give you credit for this research, the Eagles have gotten a complete goose egg and a half Just one team has been worse, and that's the one-win Tennessee Titans. Are the Eagles better than the Tennessee Titans? Yes, absolutely they're better than the Tennessee Titans. But do you want to ever be in the conversation of the Tennessee Titans? No, you don't, but you are. Do you ever want to be in the same conversation offensively as the New York Jets and the New Orleans Saints? No, but you are. You can look at all the information that's out there, whether it's points per game, efficiency, whatever is your kink when it comes to statistical analysis. The Eagles are toward the bottom of the league offensively in almost every single category, and that is through 12 weeks, not through 2 weeks, not through 2 months, through 12 weeks. It is December the 2nd. There is no way that this offense is all of a sudden going to figure it out. And you can pick who you want to blame for it, because I know the Jalen Hurts stuff has been louder recently. You can blame Hurts. You can blame Patullo. You can blame Sirianni in the overall scheme. You can blame the health of the offensive line. Tell me teams that get healthier as the season continues when they're playing. None of these things, whoever you want to blame, John, is going to get better in the final 6 weeks of the regular season, which will then propel them to some playoff and Super Bowl run.
Okay, I'm going to say to you then, if you want to get into that, and by the way, nothing you said, there were no lies detected there.
Yeah, I'm not trying to be like hot take guy. I'm
you're not.
Telling you how I feel.
So I'm just going to tell you, I'm going to get out of your feelings, and I'm just going to go to facts.
Okay.
I can tell you something that the Rams haven't done, the Seahawks haven't done, the Bears haven't done, the Lions haven't done, the Packers haven't done. None of them have a resume of beating the Rams, the Bucks, the Packers, and the Lions in the NFC. None of them. The Eagles have a resume of beating every one of those teams. And if you want to throw in the Cowboys, you can. They're 1-1 against the Cowboys. If you want to, like to me, so you're talking about the best teams in the NFC, the Eagles have already beaten 4 of them.
Sure.
And to me, yeah, we can talk about style points. And nobody talks about style points on this show more than I do. So I'm raising my hand. I obsess on style points more than anybody. But the bottom line is, we can talk about how the Eagles look or how we feel about the Eagles, but the bottom line is that when the clock strikes 0, they've done something that Bears, Packers, Lions, Bucks, Rams, Seahawks haven't been able to do.
Sure.
They've got a better resume of wins in the conference than any one of those teams.
But I can also say that since some of these games, the Eagles and those other teams have trended in totally different directions, right? Like,
well, the Lions and the Lions and the Packers games was a couple weeks ago.
Sure, but like the Eagles-Rams, you can't look me in the eyes and say you feel better about the Eagles than the Rams.
No, I told you the Rams were clearly the better team that day, and it took a miracle to beat them.
Right.
But the bottom line is, if ifs and buts were candies and nuts, the Eagles find ways to win, and the Rams have found ways to lose games.
Then what happened Friday against the now number 1 seed in the NFC and the Chicago Bears? They didn't find a way to win that game. That's one of the better teams in the NFC.
Well, then what I'm going to say to you is all the other teams in the NFC have found ways to lose more games than the Eagles have. Big games. So you can point to that Bears game, and you're absolutely right. But they've all those other teams, if you're going to use that example, then I'm going to say to you, all those other teams in the NFC have found ways to lose more big games than the Eagles have within the conference.
Well, as it stands today, the Eagles are the 3 seed in the NFC. I don't think that's going to be good enough to get them to some sort of Super Bowl run.
Do you think that is, and do you believe they're going to end the 3 seed, or do you think they have a chance to get better than that?
They have a chance to get better. Well, they're tied record wise, or they're a game back of the Los Angeles Rams. And
right.
if you tie them with the record, you have the head to head. So there is a chance that they can jump over the Rams. I just don't see the Rams as a team that's going to all of a sudden go on some skid, right? Like you're going to need help. The Rams are going to have to lose more bad games other than just this Panthers game from the previous week. The Bears are going to have to lose to teams like the Packers, but then that means the Packers are winning games.
I only see the Rams, the potential for the Rams, and I tried to do this yesterday afternoon. The potential for the Rams, the most that I could see is 2 more losses. So they could end up with a 5 spot. A team I am worried about is the Bucks. I could see the Bucks ending up with just 6 losses. So you could end up, if you slide, you could end up with a problem there. As you say with the Packers, if the Packers were to sweep the Bears, I think they're going to finish ahead of the Eagles.
Right.
So you need to make sure that the Bears and the Pack split. But if the Bears and the Packers split, then the Bears could finish ahead of the Eagles. So it's all a mess right now of where it is. But Sure. Is the dream alive? Absolutely.
I believe it is dead. Because I believe the dream to getting back to and winning the Super Bowl is dead.
One thing I know is the Eagles win big games more than any of the other teams you've listed.
D Flyers on our YouTube chat gives the Eagles a .0000000000001% chance.
Well, that's nice.
So he still believes the dream is slightly alive.
So he wants to be able to say, well, I didn't give up on them. Look, get off the fence.
We want to hear from you.
Put it to 0.00000 if you like.
We want to hear from you. 610-632-0975. Do you believe the dream to getting back to and winning the Super Bowl is still alive? I think it ended on Friday.
Where does the Golden Retriever sit? We're going to find that out, too.
Also, speaking of the Golden Retriever, when you were off on Thursday, I told Connor something that there's something about Nick Sirianni that I'm beginning to hate. And I heard it again yesterday.
Oh, boy. I heard a couple things I didn't like either yesterday, too.
Yeah, we'll dive deeper into those. This is just something I need to just freaking complain about, because why not? I'm in that mood. It's 97.5 The Fanatic. It is 6:15 here on Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. All right, a couple of immediate responses on our YouTube chat when it comes to this question. Is the dream for the repeat still alive?
Remember, you say dream, and I think that's a key word.
Yes.
So you mean anybody who is in your camp is completely giving up today?
Yes.
There's no getting back on the bus.
I do not believe that they are going to win the Super Bowl. Correct.
There's no getting back on.
Kieran, JK, hear me out. I've given up. I am out. Mopar, on your side. Season's not over yet. Don't be a bunch of quitters shaking my head. MBD, they need to win me back. They were absolutely dreadful against Chicago.
I have no problem with that point of view.
He said, I'm not predicting them to do a damn thing until I see it. And that's kind of been my standpoint with the Eagles offense the last couple of weeks.
I got no problem with that point of view of I need to see more. This group needs to win me back, win back my trust. But to give up on them? This crew? This offense. Are you serious? No, this crew.
Yeah,
this team. No, this team.
The offense is a part of the crew.
Okay, that's fine. This is to give up on them. I think is absolutely absurd.
John, the thing with last year, right? When there was a lot of people complaining about the passing offense, I stood by it. I was fine with how the offense looked because their ground game was that dominant. The ground game was so good that it married perfectly with the defense.
It did,
right?
absolutely.
The defense kept teams to not a lot of points. The Eagles controlled the clock, tick, 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 tick. They were able to 6-minute drives in the second half, right? Like now they can't get 6 plays in any half. They go 3 and out all the time. They can't get anything going on the ground, and it's not like the passing attack has been their savior. You and I talked about this on post-show headlines a few weeks ago. Can the passing offense be the savior? My answer was it has to be. Not yes or no. It's just it has to be, and unfortunately, it has not shown that.
I got you. It's the idea, though, that you believe that it absolutely can't happen.
Yeah, I don't think they have any answers.
That it can't happen.
Nick Sirianni, you'll hear clips. Throughout the course of the show, you're going to hear clips.
I'm going to tell you, first of all, yesterday I thought there was some great analysis and fun angst that was shared yesterday on Unfiltered.
Yes.
I loved hearing it. It was interesting. Listen. But I'm just going to say, if I believe, and you know the respect I have for you, anybody who's given up today, I think you are certifiably nuts because I just think it's early. I don't necessarily think you are wrong. I am not saying you are wrong. I'm just telling you, I think it's way too early because I have a feeling you may be knocking on the door begging to get back in. And I'm telling you right now, you got till 9:53 because the door's not being reopened.
You know what? I think we're both certifiably nuts.
Well, no, why?
Look, the way the Bears came in and pantsed the Eagles.
Oh, it was terrible.
And we still are either saying it's done, hand raised, or that there's still a chance with one of the worst offenses in the NFL. Now, yesterday, Nick Sirianni, we're going to play a bunch of clips from his press conference as the show continues. But on Thursday, I told Connor, you know how you love somebody, but you can still hate something about them?
No question.
So Nick Sirianni, I'm not going to get into that, is getting on my freaking nerves. Here he was yesterday talking about how he's going to use this mini bye to evaluate the team after their loss to the Bears.
Obviously, we're evaluating everything, and now you don't have as much time as you have in a normal bye week, but it's a mini bye, and so everything was being evaluated. We'll think about some different things that we want to do as all over the place, scheme, everything. But I don't think it benefits us for me to share in particular what that is. Just know this: we want to get this thing fixed more than anybody, right? We live it, breathe it, and involved in it every waking second of our lives. So that's what we're working on right now.
We're not going to get into it. It doesn't benefit us telling you what it is. I'm freaking tired of it, dude. Like, it's reached a point whenever Sirianni says it, it just gets on my nerves. Last week, when you were out, It was about Hard Knocks. He was asked, what is your message to the team when before the cameras were around and Hard Knocks?
All right.
I'm not going to tell you because it doesn't benefit me telling you guys. What do you mean? What does that mean?
What it means is that it doesn't benefit you because he can't spit it out.
No, he can't. That's it.
He can't spit it out.
It's his crutch. I'm not going to get into it because I don't think he has answers.
He honestly, the whole idea of I can't tell you, I'm not going to tell you, I can't look, he can't figure it out because he can't figure out what he wants to say. And Nick Sirianni, can I say it again? I said it yesterday. Let me say it one more time. Stop lying to us. You are not evaluating everything because you came out and said right after the game you weren't willing to consider a change at play caller. You weren't willing to consider certain things, but we're evaluating everything.
Everything, Jeff.
You're going into it with preconceived notions. That means, by definition, you aren't evaluating everything. That means you aren't open to new ideas. That means you aren't open to saying, you know what, maybe the way we're doing things is wrong, because you are tied to the fact that you continue to front for somebody who's not getting the job done. Even though I will say this, in a change of opinion from yesterday slightly, after watching the 15-minute game from Friday that I hadn't watched because I hadn't had the stomach for it till yesterday, the number one culprit from Friday was Jalen Hurts.
Oh, he was horrible. Yeah.
Hurts was villain number one from that loss, period. He was the number one villain, not Kevin Patullo. But Kevin Patullo has so many bad lines on the resume, it's not even worth getting into. I mean, it's been horrendous.
All right, coming up next. Curious where Connor falls on this. Is the repeat dream dead?
He may crush people if he's out.
610-632-0975. You can text in your answer. You can call in your answer. YouTube will continue to check out the running tally that we got going on. Also, I told you we're going to play a lot of Nick Sirianni from yesterday. Did Nick Sirianni actually realize something this past weekend that us non-football guys here on the radio have been pointing out since the summer? It is Kincade and Salciunas here on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Moving on to Week 14, I'm Connor Thomas, and NFL Week 13 came to a close last night with the Patriots knocking off the Giants. The Eagles are facing more questions than ever as to their potential for another deep playoff run. At 8-4, they're still the heavy favorites to win the NFC East, but Nick Sirianni talked yesterday about the lessons the team needs to learn from their recent struggles.
The lessons we learned in 23 resulted in kind of what happened last year. So, of course, win, lose, or draw, you're always constantly trying to learn and get better. Sometimes that sting of the loss has even more impact.
Hopefully those lessons will be learned before Monday night when the Eagles take on the Chargers out in L.A. Quarterback Justin Herbert underwent surgery yesterday to stabilize a fracture in his left hand, so his status is uncertain for the Chargers on Monday. Flyers fell to the Penguins 5-1 last night in a rough return to their home ice. Sidney Crosby scored 2 goals for Pittsburgh. They're off today. The Sixers take on the Wizards at home tonight at 7 p.m. Joel Embiid is out for tonight. That game live here on 97.5 The Fanatic. And Amy Fadul will join us coming up for the entire 9 o'clock hour later on in the show. This update is brought to you by SuperSure. Do you own a small business? You need to hear this. A seismic shift is coming. It's time to get SuperSure. Not just kind of sure, not pretty sure, but SuperSure. Coming soon. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and the best Birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
628 here on Kincade Salciunas, 97.5, the Fanatic. MBD on our YouTube chat. They stink. You are deluding yourself if you quote their resume. They are getting worse as the season progresses.
Oh, okay. So the resume doesn't matter. Okay. That makes no sense.
Well, no. To me, again, the Eagles were a different team when they beat the Rams or when they beat the Bucs. They've gotten worse. Like, the Eagles have gotten worse.
There's no questions asked that they have.
I mean, we've talked about it since self-scouting week, the bye week. The offense has played, so much worse.
So they've gotten worse in the last couple weeks.
Yes.
All right.
Last month.
So that means that they can't get better?
I don't think that they can, no.
Okay, that's what you think. I'm telling you, I think, because of their resume, that they absolutely can get better. Do I think that they necessarily can get back to the way they played on February the 8th or February the 9th? When they were stomping Kansas City? No, I don't know. But in fact, I know they can play a hell of a lot better than they have.
Chuck Baller on our YouTube chat does not believe that they are dead. He somehow misquotes you, saying that you're out, which you're not.
No, I'm not out. Chuck, come on.
What's wrong with sports media?
Chuck, wake up.
Get back to me when the Eagles are playing in Super Bowl 60 in February, but sure, even then, you will both find a way to hate on Hurts and Sirianni.
Hey, Chuck, what are you listening to? What are you listening to, Chuck?
You don't believe that they are dead.
Please
Connor Thomas, where do you fall on this question? Is the repeat dream dead for the Philadelphia Eagles?
I'm in a tough spot here because I've promised myself two things over the past couple of Eagles seasons. The first thing I promised myself is I would never undersell issues like I did back in 2023. Was never going to fall for it again. If you see it, you should believe it at some point. But then after last year and Jalen Hurts walking out of New Orleans as Super Bowl MVP, I promised myself that if this team ever gets into the postseason, I could never doubt them. So I'm stuck in between those two tenets of my promises. And at the end of the day, I lean towards they're dead. Like it's
not
over.
Not lean towards.
It's over. Well, the only other thing that could happen is they could be Frankenstein's monster because right now they're dead to me. And if you reanimate them, I think that's just going to end poorly as well. So I am going all the way out. The season is over. The repeat dreams are over. They're not winning the Super Bowl this year. They're not going to the Super Bowl this year.
My biggest thing with all of this, and I'm not, this is not me using emotions or feels. We all agree that an offensive line won't get healthier as the season progresses. Lane Johnson will get healthier whenever he comes back, right? Like that he'll come back, but I don't believe Cam Jurgens is going to all of a sudden get healthier. Landon Dickerson's going to get healthier.
I do believe some of the things on the offensive line can get better. I believe Lane Johnson will be better.
Yes, he will be.
I believe that, and I do believe some of the things that the offensive line is dealing with right now can get better. See, I do believe that they can get better.
There's two guys next to each other that are
they're banged up.
That I think are hanging on by a thread right now.
They are. They absolutely are.
Here's where we're at. What happens in the NovaCare complex from now till the end of the year at any given point that just was unable to happen for the first 13 weeks of the NFL schedule?
And that's my point. Like, 11 of 12 games, that's a pretty good sample size.
I think it's a very good sample.
11 of 12 games, we have legitimately complained about the offense.
We have.
There have been a couple games where you go, well, at least we saw that second half, right? Like the Rams game, playing not to lose. And then they played not to lose literally the very next week against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers when they had a big lead and they took their foot off the gas pedal. It was just the reverse, right? Week 3, it was we have to come back and win. Week
Correct.
4, it was, oh, my God, let's not lose, let's not lose, let's not lose. And they barely won. If Baker Mayfield doesn't have one of the worst throws that I can remember right to Jahad Campbell, I don't know if the Eagles win that football game. We were there. It felt like that building was all Bucs the second half of that game.
It was, but I think they also forced him into that. They pressured him into that throw.
It was a really bad throw.
It did, but they pressured him into that throw. I mean, it's like you can't.
Yeah, sure.
They
get some credit for it.
Well, I mean, it's not like Baker Mayfield just went out and he threw it in a vacuum. It's because of the fact that Baker Mayfield was also under pressure. So, I mean, that has to come into the equation. Look, I understand the idea of saying, I am not telling you are wrong to say, either one of you, to say, this is the way it's trending, this is the way it's looking. Because there's no way to argue against that. That's the way it is. But I would tell you, just as much as it's looked since the bye week that it's trending in the wrong direction, even as crappy as it looked, you won a game in Green Bay. You won a game against the Detroit Lions. You should have beaten the Cowboys. Your head coach really helped you in that one. And then you lost a game against the Bears where you just played like crap. I'm telling you that this could easily, and I believe with the schedule they're playing, could get turned around. Could. So that's why I say you can't write them off.
All right.
And that's where I'm at.
I'm glad Nick Sirianni noticed something yesterday, guys.
Oh, really?
Since the summer.
What did he notice?
Us non-football radio guys, we're the evil media. We're what's wrong with sports in today's society. Nick Sirianni realized something yesterday.
As we go through game planning, we're always thinking about how we help guys do their jobs better, how we attack versus different looks, what you do well, what you don't do so well. That's done. But obviously, as we think through it and look at it, we're hypercritical on ourselves as well and say to ourselves, well, we might have thought this was the best going in, but as we look at it, we have to change some things too. You can't just keep doing the same thing over and over and over again, expect different results. So we're hypercritical on ourselves. We're looking for ways to help the guys more be able to execute better, and it always goes hand in hand right there. So what necessarily worked for us in the past doesn't always mean it's going to necessarily work for you in the future. And so that's what the weekend was about, of looking at ourselves first, because we're going to ask our players to look at themselves and everyone looking internally.
He's so full of crap.
This is
that.
the same coach that in 2023, after the Eagles went to the Super Bowl in 22, saying, no, I don't think we need to change our offense. We just need to get better at what we're already doing well. This is the same head coach that is running practically the exact same offense last year, despite the offensive line being a mess because they're injured, and defense is doing whatever they can to stop the run.
Yep.
Right? Like in the summer, when we were talking about this Eagles team, I was saying that Jalen Hurts is going to have to play better, not because I thought he played poorly last year. It's just I thought defenses are going to do whatever they can to stop 26. And yet they came out with the exact same ideas.
Because
nothing's different.
Do you remember do you ever read I don't know if you ever read Cooper, The Emperor Has No Clothes?
No, I've not.
The emperor believed that the emperor was naked. But nobody would tell the emperor that anything would ever tell him anything.
Yeah.
So the emperor's new clothes was the emperor was naked, but everybody had to tell the emperor that his clothes were beautiful and that he was but he was walking around naked. Because everybody was afraid to tell the emperor what the truth was. Nick Sirianni's afraid to say the truth. Nick, you always tell us you're looking under every rock. You're trying to change things. We're always trying to look things. We're trying not to do things the same way. And then you do things the same way
well, I'm glad
over and over again.
He just realized it, John.
No,
yesterday he realized. Yesterday he realized they can't keep doing the same thing.
Well, guess what? It's full of garbage.
I'm glad it took 12 weeks.
I don't believe you. I don't believe you. You don't deserve the benefit of the doubt because you just say the same things over and over again, the same talking points.
You know what? The first 4 weeks, there was the debate about whether or not we should be patient with Kevin Patullo. I think Sirianni was just patient for the first 12 games of the season.
Well, that's really patient.
And now he realized that they can't keep doing the same thing. They can't keep doing the same hitch routes.
Yeah,
they can't keep doing the same inside zones.
Yeah.
He realized that on December 1st.
That's great.
He realized that.
Yeah. He's like the elf on the shelf. Sirianni on the shelf.
Now, 2 years ago, Nick Sirianni said, I need to make a change. But he keeps telling you it's different this time. How? He'll explain that to you next. It is Kincade and Salciunas here on 97.5 The Fanatic. All right, the Eagles might make me very upset, but you know who never... here on Kincade Salciunas 97.5 The Fanatic. Real quick, before we continue this conversation, you're about to hear Nick Sirianni talk about why it's different this time around with Kevin Patullo than 2023 when he demoted Sean Desai. All jokes aside, those freaking morons that threw eggs allegedly at the house of Kevin Patullo Saturday.
You mean the kids?
Yeah.
You mean the kids?
They're stupid.
Okay. Can we say it again? The kids. It's obvious. Listen to the voices.
Okay.
They're kids.
Yeah, they're stupid.
They're teenage kids. They're little kids. Kids do stupid things.
I never threw an egg at a house of a coach of a football team.
It's absolutely a stupid, vile, awful thing to do. Stupid kids do stupid things. This isn't the Eagles fan base doing something.
No, I get that.
But it's being portrayed
I'm
that
calling
way.
those individuals stupid idiot
and
kids.
you know what? Little kids do things. These are kids. It's obvious. You can hear the voices. I said to my daughter, I said, what's the age here? She said, sounds like 15, 16. I said, sounds like 15, 16. Like doing that. And more importantly, what is the age group that's doing it? That's not an adult doing that. That is a kid. You can hear the voice.
I don't think it was a 60-year-old man.
No, but I mean, it's
regardless.
But it's being portrayed as the Eagles fan base is egging the house of Kevin Patullo. No, it's stupid kids doing something stupid at like 2-something in the morning. I'm figuring alcohol may have been involved. I'm guessing may have been involved at 2:50 in the morning.
Maybe.
I'm guessing. Like, look, I'm just taking a guess.
Either way, they're idiots.
Yes, they are.
They're
are. Little,
yeah, no, look, I'm not saying that.
They are.
You know, I'm not doing the whole Philadelphia thing. It's those idiots.
Right. They're little kids.
And I want to call out those idiots.
Yes.
And I'm looking forward to whatever punishment they get.
And I
think it's freaking stupid.
I think the stupid thing that they should get is that they should absolutely have to pick up trash along a very public highway every time there's an Eagles game for the rest of the season.
I agree. I think
that would be a great.
That's fair.
That'd be a great penalty.
Yeah.
Whenever the Eagles are playing for that 3 or 3.5 hour period, they're out picking up trash. What are the roads near his house? What are those public roads?
Morristown?
Yeah.
Go Route 55.
Okay. So
73,
they're out there wearing
42.
wearing the vests, and they're out there picking up trash. And that would be a great viable penalty for their actions. I think that would be a great thing for them to have to do.
See, now the dark joke comes at me saying we might be doing them a favor by making them not watch the Eagles play.
Well, then
it's horrible what they do.
There were people, the kids were there. I saw the kids are more accurate than Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
Saw some of that.
Oh yeah.
There were plenty of those going around yesterday.
My thing is, look.
I was just annoyed at the narrative of, look at the Eagles fans doing this.
Yeah,
These are drunken, I'm going to guess, drunken teenagers at 2:50 in the morning. It's obviously not adults. You can hear it in the voice.
I will also say the adults, though, on social media that were like, well, then they're part of the problem as well. Just saying.
What were they? Oh, well. I didn't hear anybody. Oh, well. I didn't hear that.
I had people respond on social media saying that this guy Marco Polo saying, I love it.
Marco Polo.
Yeah, that's his name.
Well, then he's somebody. No, that's somebody hiding out behind an email. Like, that's somebody.
That's it. Look, it's Marco Polo.
Yeah, I don't think his name's Marco Polo.
All right. Well,
in other words, he's not using his real
maybe
name.
his name's actually Marco. I don't know.
I don't think his name's Marco Polo. I'm just guessing that it's not Marco Polo.
But he loved it. He was all for it. All right. 2023, they demoted Sean Desai. First, it was the third down play calling duties they took away from him.
Sure.
That was the quiet change until Jay Glazer reported. Then all of a sudden, we find out that he is completely removed from being the play caller for the Eagles defense. And in steps in Matt Patricia, and that went really, really well.
Who, by the way, is having wild success now.
Oh, yeah, things are going really well for him.
He's going to win another national championship.
Here was Nick Sirianni talking about why this situation is different.
I do believe that both of them are different scenarios. You know, it was a change of play caller, but slightly different, particularly on the offensive side. And so it isn't just one person. It's the ultimate team game. And so, like I said, we're working through everything. I have a lot of faith in all the players. I have a lot of faith in all the coaches. We gotta execute it better, and we gotta scheme it better. They all can be true, and we gotta call it better. It's every area that we need to improve on. That's why we always say we look internally through all these things. And like I said to you guys, like, if all that's not gelling, that to me, that's on me first. And it's my job to do whatever I need to do to help get it fixed. And that's what we're working on right now.
So once again, he didn't answer the question.
Not at all. Like, what did he answer anything there?
No, but I'm going to ask you guys a question. Because he's been saying this whole it's not one guy thing for 12 weeks now. Right? Like, we literally played a game with it yesterday. You marked it down like 9 times this year. He said at some point it's not just one guy.
It was actually 7 times guaranteed that he said that. Yeah.
What is he telling us?
He's trying to front for his boy.
No, or he's saying that, like, Jalen's not doing well and he's fronting that way. Or he's talking about somebody else is not doing their job and he's fronting that way. Like, Nick Sirianni, I can't imagine. Maybe I'm too kind. I can't imagine that Nick Sirianni's literally going down the ship of Kevin Patullo this much. Like, he thinks Kevin Patullo is great. Ignore all the shortcomings of Kevin Patullo. I can't imagine that.
No, I think the biggest difference in the scenario is the fact that they are coming off a Super Bowl win, right? And what that changes about how the team is perceived, both inside and outside. Like, he knows he has a Super Bowl defending offense still. So I think that's more of what's keeping him with, hey, we got to keep doing this, than just Patullo.
So he's putting the blame on everybody. But, like, truth serum, I wonder who his number one, like, if he would actually say, yeah, it's this guy. Like, is it Jalen?
Listen, that's not outside the realm of possibility.
I mean,
and anyone who thinks it is
let's not act like there weren't leaks 2 weeks ago, right? And it's always when something's going poorly and it's somebody else, somebody's getting a lot of the heat, all of a sudden it pops up. Well, actually, Jalen's been playing really bad. He doesn't want to run the football, this, that.
Did you watch Jalen literally ball out this calendar year in January?
Yes.
To where he was arguably their best player on the field?
Yeah.
Like, he was arguably the Eagles' best player.
I agree with you. Two things have changed: right guard and offensive coordinator. Those are the only two things that have changed.
I mean, he was arguably their best player on the field. So to me, the idea that Jalen Hurts all of a sudden is just terrible is a narrative that I am not going to buy into, and it is a narrative that is not going to be pushed. Like, to me, that I'm going to buy into it all.
Yeah, that's what I was saying yesterday. He doesn't just suck all of a sudden, right? Like. Yeah. You can't go from MVP candidate one year, Super Bowl MVP last year, and now he stinks. He might not be as good as some of the other quarterbacks in the NFL, but to all of a sudden he just stinks. No, 2 things have changed. Right guard, and I'm not blaming Steen for this, and offensive coordinator.
And 2, if he wants to run less designed runs, things like that, if that's true, if those reports are true, then he's contributing to his own decline. Then he is a part of the problem with that. But, come on, the offensive coordinator, it's rudimentary. The pass tree looks ridiculous.
Yeah.
Looks like Charlie Brown's Christmas tree.
It's horrible. Coming up next, we'll check our text line. Sorry, there's been a lot to get into. Is the road to the repeat, the dream of the repeat, dead? 610-632-0975. I believe it's done. You'll also hear from Nick Sirianni, who spoke on the makeup of this team. I will play the clip, Johnny, and then I will ask you guys a question as seriously as possible. I will try not to laugh. It is Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Every day, someone in your community, our community, they're looking for that second chance. They want a way forward because addiction has taken away a lot from them, from their family. And believe it or not, you can do something to assist them with something as simple as donating a vehicle, or donating a boat or a motorcycle or an RV that has reached the end of the road for you, that you've been looking to just have hauled away. Consider donating it to the Salvation Army. Your vehicle is going to help someone else rebuild their life. It's going to help someone else find stability. It's going to find someone else discover hope again, because addiction is absolutely a struggle that they have not been able to overcome. And the Salvation Army has been helping changing lives for nearly 150 years. Your kindness continues to make that possible. Donating is simple, too. You call 800-SA-TRUCK, Salvation Army. 800-SA-TRUCK, or go to satruck.org and you schedule a pickup. They're going to come to your home, tow the vehicle at no charge, and give you an IRS-approved receipt so you can get the tax benefit. That used vehicle in your driveway or on your property could end up being the turning point in someone else's life. So if you've got that car, that truck, that boat, that motorcycle or RV, and you're ready to part with it, donate it today. Call 800-SA-TRUCK or visit satruck.org and help the Salvation Army continue to do the most good.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Learning lessons from the loss. I'm Connor Thomas, and that's what the Eagles are trying to do with NFL Week 13 coming to a close last night. The Eagles have more questions than ever as to their potential for another deep playoff run. And at 8-4, while they're still heavy favorites to win their division, Nick Sirianni talked yesterday about the lessons the team needs to learn from their recent struggles.
Obviously, as we think through it, we're hypercritical on ourselves as well and say to ourselves, well, we might have thought this was the best going in, but as we look at it, we have to change some things too. You can't just keep doing the same thing over and over and over again, expect different results.
It's kind of felt like they've been doing that for the last couple of months, but we'll see if things change when they take on the Chargers in L.A. on Monday. L.A. quarterback Justin Herbert underwent surgery yesterday to stabilize a fracture in his left hand, so his status is uncertain for that matchup. Flyers lost to the Penguins 5-1 last night. Sidney Crosby, 2 goals for Pittsburgh. They're off today. Sixers take on the Wizards at home tonight at 7 p.m. You can hear that game live here on 97.5 The Fanatic. Joel Embiid is out tonight. Amy Fadul joins us coming up for the entire 9 o'clock hour. This update is brought to you by Corona. This Thursday, December 4th, Andrew Salciunas will be at Jersey Sports Bar and Pizzeria in Glenside from 6 to 8 p.m. with $4.50 Corona bottles and Modelo drafts. Stop by for your chance to win Sixers tickets before they take on the Golden State Warriors. Sponsored by Corona. Must be 21 plus. Please drink responsibly. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and the Best Birds coverage. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
And here on Kincade Salciunas, 97.5, the Fanatic, WPEN, HD1 Burlington, Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group station broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studio, powering possibilities. Tough loss for our Owls yesterday, Johnny.
That was rough.
Yeah, they were down 1 at halftime.
And I was very, very enthused.
Yeah, and then they lost by 18 to the Villanova Wildcats.
The second half defense was not up to snuff.
No. So Villanova will be playing Penn in the Big Five Classic Championship game.
Congratulations.
Coming up later on this month. Yes, to Penn. They got some players on that squad.
Come on, Penn.
But if you want to see the Owls battle Georgian Court in Jersey, we found that out last week. Harry
knew.
Harry Mays knew right away. It's unbelievable.
Harry's Catholic knowledge was very, very strong on this one.
We have 5 4-packs. So if you want to go to the Liacouras Center, take friends, take family, whatever, whether you're an alum, you just want to go see a basketball game, all you got to do is text OWLS to 610-632-0975. Text OWLS to 610-632-0975. And we will have our first 5 winners get a 4-pack to see Temple take on Georgian Court Tuesday, December 9th. So 1 week from today at the Liacouras Center. Get your tickets now at TULstix.com. Connor, speaking of the text line, what are the people saying when it comes to the dream conversation and whether or not the dream to the repeat is dead? Originally, it was the road to the repeat. John marked it down. April 9th was when we termed it the road to the repeat. Now it's the dream of the repeat. Is it still alive or dead? What do we got on the text line?
Owls. No, Ben from Tampa says Eagles can still win the Super Bowl. They need to make some changes on offense, but we have time to do that. Need to do something different, but the dream is still alive.
My question, and I'm not trying to be a D head here.
You wanted to say the D word.
My question is, all right, we need to make some changes in offense. We are 12 weeks in.
Okay.
What changes are coming? What is the magic elixir that they're going to find? What is the formula that they're going to remember? His studies, Nick Sirianni and his studies.
I don't trust his studies.
When he's at the Wharton School of Business this week, taking time. What studies is Sirianni going to figure out that's all of a sudden going to fix this offense? You're not wrong, John. With the resume that you have talked about, the Eagles have been able to put together this year. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. So all these other teams. Okay. Again, just to simplify it, all these other teams that I'm told are better than the Eagles, right? Don't have better resumes of actually winning games than the Eagles do, as far as winning the big games against the best teams. So all I'm saying is keep a window of opportunity to say to yourself, okay, they've already shown you they know if this is a bad run. The last 4 weeks have been bumpy, but they're not. You're right to write them off. I think is dangerous stuff, in my opinion.
They played the Lions with 3 missing members of the secondary. They scored 16 points. Mm-hmm. They played one of the 5 worst defenses in the NFL in the Cowboys. They got shut out in the second half. They played one of the 3 worst defenses in the NFL last Friday, and they scored 15 points.
And they won at Green Bay, right?
And they won at Green Bay.
Uh-huh. And they beat the Lions. They have the best resume of wins in the NFC.
This offense is not going.
Okay.
Again, to the texter's point, the offense is just going to have to get better.
Okay, it's December 2nd. The Rams don't have a better resume of beating good teams in the NFC. The Packers don't. The Bucs don't, is all I'm saying. All these teams that are supposedly better than the Eagles.
I'm not saying the Bucs are better than the Eagles.
Whoever they are, they don't have a better resume of actually winning the games, which is the bottom line of what you have to do to actually go to a Super Bowl. You got to beat the good teams. The Eagles have done it. I'm not going to write them off and say, nope. They can't do it.
All right.
They actually have.
I want to play this clip for you, and then I'm going to ask the question without laughing, even though I might still chuckle. Here was Nick Sirianni yesterday. It was the very first answer that he gave during the press conference.
I feel like our players can do a lot of different things. We have a lot of strengths on the team. So, we're able to do some different things because we got talented guys. But make no mistake about it, you always want to be doing the things that they do the best. Like if we asked them to do something we didn't think they could do, I think that even though it might draw up well on paper against a certain team, there's different ways that you can attack different looks. And so you're always thinking about what they do to do the best. That's why you're constantly evaluating the players. But like I said, we got talented talented guys that can do a lot of different things. But when you ask a guy to do something they can't do, that they might not be as good at, and it doesn't really matter how it draws up. So it is always a balance, but we're always trying to do the best thing schematically and also always trying to do the best thing that they do well.
Right.
Oh, my gosh.
My
Nick,
question,
stop.
My question, and I will not laugh when I ask it, even though I did chuckle when he said it during the press conference. He was obviously talking about the offense, so forget the defense for a second. When he was talking about the offense, he said we have a lot of strengths. I must ask you, what are those, quote, a lot of strengths exactly?
I'd ask him for it. Yeah, because I'm fascinated. See, it's all gobbledygook. It's all gobbledygook.
Even now you're getting to where I'm at. Like
No. It shouldn't be, though. This team should absolutely be able to pass the football much better than they do. This team should be able to pass the football and should absolutely be able to run the football better than they do.
Well,
it should absolutely be able to do that. There are reasons why, and I still will put it back to, they are running a scheme that is high school Harry.
And is that scheme changing?
Well, we don't know if it will. We don't know if they will tweak some things.
I have a hunch.
Oh, no. We have a hunch
that it's not going to change.
I have a hunch that it will. But but that was the scheme they ran when they beat the Rams. That was the scheme that they ran when they beat the Bucks. That was the scheme that they ran when they beat the Lions, when they beat the Packers in Green Bay.
Thanks to the defense being freaking ridiculous.
So I absolutely believe that can happen again.
And as I said, even after those wins, at some point the defense won't be able to continue to keep teams to under 10 points.
And if the games were played in January in South Philadelphia, I absolutely believe the Eagles can win games.
Well, they're running out of chances to play a lot of games in South Philadelphia.
And that is part of taking advantage of these last 5 games. And you got to win. I think a must to go out and try to win 4 out of 5 of them. You got to win 4 out of 5 of them, or else you're going to be asking for help.
Hey, good thing is Mopar's on your side today, but I begrudgingly agree with John today.
Well, thank you, Mopar. Appreciate that.
Connor, what do we got on the text line? Is the dream still alive for the Eagles to repeat as Super Bowl champion?
David says something that I don't really want to read because this is Philadelphia, but he says, I have more faith in the Dallas Cowboys making the Super Bowl than the Philadelphia Eagles now.
Disgusting.
Chalk it up as another lost season.
That's a very heat of the moment, which I understand, right? Like the Cowboys are playing good football. The Eagles are playing bad football. But I don't, the Cowboys aren't going to the Super Bowl.
The Cowboys' odds to even make the
they might not
playoffs
make it right.
are very poor. Right now, the last team in the playoff hunt is 8-3-1.
Yeah. By the way, Thursday.
The Cowboys are 2 games behind them.
Thursday's going to be freaking awesome.
It's going to be
Cowboys Lions. It's literally
it's a huge game for us.
The winner of this game, their season's still alive. The losers, they're pretty much done.
The Eagles need Dallas to win that game badly. The Eagles, yes.
Slow down there, Cowboy.
Why?
Because I'm not convinced.
No. I'm sorry, Connor. I made the mistake. The Eagles need Detroit to win the game.
Okay, I was going to say.
I'm sorry. The Eagles need Detroit to win that game badly. And if the Eagles win that, if Detroit wins that game, then Dallas' season is over.
Right. They're done.
Yeah, they're done. So
it's just amazing. The Cowboys have had the Cowboys are pretty much playing for their life every single week at this point, right?
Sure.
The Eagles had the chance to end their season, and they didn't. The Chiefs had the chance to end their season on Thanksgiving,
and they didn't.
And now the Cowboys are hot, and they're going to play the Lions. It's in Detroit.
And it's a Thursday night game. That's wild.
And it's indoors. So, it still plays to what the Cowboys do.
Yeah. The Lions, though, boy, I'll tell you, the Lions lose that game.
Oh,
the bottom fell out from under that team.
Season's over if they lose that game.
Yeah, the bottom fell out.
All right.
Of that team. That's crazy.
Coming up next, we cleanse ourselves from the Eagles for a few minutes. What better way to do that than to talk about the Phillies? We give you the latest nuggets on the Phillies' busy offseason next, and we'll continue to check your text messages. Is the dream of the repeat still alive? I think it's dead. Kincade Salciunas, 97.5, The Fanatic.
I'm going to tell you, be honest with you. I wasn't talking to your lady, but I know enough successful marriages out there. She doesn't want an appliance for the house. She doesn't want something that's going to help her make dinner in the kitchen. She wants a personal gift. She wants something that's going to show that you thought about her, something that's going to make her feel more beautiful. Well, my friends at Benari Jewelers have got just what you're looking for. The showcases at Benari, They're filled with gifts from all price ranges from around the globe with beautiful diamond studs, pendants, bracelets, colored gemstones. These are the kind of gifts that are going to show her that she's very special. When she sees that bright yellow box from Benari, she's going to know, wow, Santa Claus teamed up with my boy this year, and I'm getting a great gift. And he knows he's getting a value that you're not going to find anywhere else. Elegant, beautiful designer pieces, one-of-a-kind custom creations, and more importantly, all the greatest designers. She's going to find something that she can wear every day, from school drop-offs to date nights, from a day at the office to holiday parties. You're going to love Benari Jewelers, and they have an amazing team of associates that are so helpful. You're going to find an amazing gift in the price point you're looking for, something that's going to sparkle. My friends at Benari Jewelers will take great care of you. There are 2 great locations, Exton and Newtown Square. Shop online at BenariJewelers.com just to get an idea of what you're looking for. Then go visit them. Exton, Newtown Square, Benari Jewelers. Tell them John Kincade and Santa's Little Elves sent you.
Unfiltered with Ricky Bo, Bill.
The other day that I've never done before. I must be in a festive mood.
What did you do?
I bought like a Christmas sweater. It's not technically an ugly
Are you
Christmas
doing
sweater.
a one of those like ugly Christmas sweater things?
It wasn't totally ugly. It might be ugly. You guys can be the judge. I'll wear it when we get closer.
Says Eagles offense on it.
Yeah. It's just it's all the play designs, all 2 of them from Kevin Patullo. One on the front, one on the back. But I'm all in a festive mood, and it's because of Coop. I want to know, when did Liv, really start getting into Christmas?
2.
2? Oh, all right.
Yeah, no, but remember, though, her first Christmas, she was 6 days old. So 6 days old. Because she's your birthday.
Yeah.
So, no, so she was 2 years old. So, yeah, so she was at that point.
Coop's this is the first year where he's
oh, no. Yeah.
Remember, I told you guys he was mad a month ago that it wasn't Christmas.
Gosh. So
he
by this,
was mad.
So this is his third Christmas.
This is his 4th.
Okay, yeah, but
he
he's
was born
3.
in March.
But he's 3.
Yeah.
When she was 3, she was obsessed with Christmas.
Yeah, we're doing Christmas carols.
Oh, yes. Christina's one of those.
We wrote the letter to Santa.
Christina's one of those indoctrinators that starts with the Christmas music in the car.
Yeah.
Early and all the songs and when they have their traditions, they go to this Christmas tea,
nice.
Tea with Santa.
Ah, it's nice.
They go to the tea, so mom and daughter go to a tea with Santa and things like that. So there's lots of
Coop's fired up.
Oh my gosh!
This is the first one where it's
now. Do you put out the cookies for Santa?
Yeah, of course.
Do you put out the
big man's got to eat?
Do you put out stuff for the reindeer?
Yes, reindeer. They need that energy.
Do you leave? Do you ever leave behind reindeer poop?
No.
Okay, I'm going to help you with that this year.
I just want to leave the carrots out for the reindeer.
Well, no, you leave the carrots out, then you got to bite the carrots.
Yeah,
you got to have the.
But here's the deal: I don't need to leave anything out. If they poop, they poop.
What do you mean?
What am I leaving out? If they poop, they poop.
No, I'm going to help you with the reindeer poop. It's fun.
What, are you
kids
gonna poop on my lawn?
No, kids love it. It's fake reindeer poop. It's just a fake reindeer poop. It's fun. Kids love it. Kids love it when you're like, oh my gosh, there's reindeer poop.
You want to save them here, Connor?
Come on, it's fun.
No.
It's fun. Come on.
I don't understand what I couldn't even say from either of you guys.
Come on now.
Reindeer poop and carrots and cookies.
Try to save them.
No, it's
All
fun.
Right. The Phillies.
Leave cookies for myself. That's it.
The Phillies. Yesterday, I saw this report from John Heyman. You saw something, too, from Jeff Passan.
Yes.
John Heyman, some bullet points in his show on Bleacher Report. The Phillies are willing to talk about Marsh and Bowman trades. Wow. Maybe Christmas is coming earlier.
That's a shocker.
For me. They're trying to re-sign Kyle Schwarber and Real Muto. Real Muto, I saw yesterday, 2 years. He's not asking for 3, according to reports, which I'm fine with. I would not go 3.
I will tell you that I'm not a baseball insider, but somebody that I trust very, very much, who would absolutely be considered a baseball insider, says they know for a fact that his camp has kicked tires on 3 years. So I've gotten contrary information to that.
Okay.
So that his camp is absolutely, if somebody, they would love to get a 3rd year.
There is a possibility, according to John Heyman, to bring back Ranger Suarez. We did that. We read that executive poll.
Which is great.
Where majority of there were 16 executives that ESPN interviewed in Major League Baseball, and 4 of them, which was the majority, said Suarez back to the Phillies. What? Why are you laughing?
No way.
I don't think so either.
Well, why would you say
people inside
no
baseball
way?
think so.
Yeah. Why are you saying no way?
Because they're going to pay Schwarber and they're going to pay Real Muto. And then you expect them to see what Dylan Cease just got paid and somehow win the Ranger Suarez sweepstakes when you can argue he's the best left-handed starter on the market. There's no way that they're committing that much amount of money to a position where they have a top prospect coming up. They're just not going to do it. He's not coming back.
All right. Lastly, they are in on, and forgive me, I will try my best, on Tatsuya Imai, who is a pitcher from Japan. Last year, in 24 games, it does not specify starts, but I'm guessing starts, 10-5 with a 1.92 ERA. He's 27 years old, though. This isn't like, who's the guy with the Dodgers that was 19?
Roki Sasaki?
Yeah, who became the closer for them. So he's 27. He's in his prime. But there's a chance that the Phillies go overseas a little bit. So there's some of your nuggets.
I'd like that. He's a little bit of a smaller guy. I think he's like 175 pounds or something. He's not really a flamethrower, but he can eat innings, I guess. He doesn't have the projectable.
175, according to baseballreference.com. How about 154?
Okay. Well, maybe he had a big Thanksgiving, but he's just not. You're not getting a guy that is this giant top of the rotation arm like the guys that the Dodgers have been signing out of Japan. But he's a nice arm, and if Ranger walks, it's a good chance to get into that market.
Here's what I would say on the Ranger front is the salaries are the way that they do the salaries in baseball. They're always projecting out, and as revenues grow and as everything goes, future salaries go. The Wheeler money's going off the books. They can easily afford Ranger Suarez. They can easily afford Ranger Suarez. There's nothing financially that would say to them, you can't handle it, especially the deal they have Christopher Sanchez signed to. They can. There's nothing that precludes them.
Here's my one
from being able to. But
here's my guess with Ranger.
He's not. His health history is what would scare the hell out of me.
Ranger I would imagine, Boris, right? Boris's agent.
Yep.
Yes.
Do they try to get a lot of money up front?
It doesn't matter in baseball.
Oh yeah, because it's guaranteed.
Baseball's all guaranteed. Doesn't matter. So I would think that Boris would have no problem with. Ranger would have no problem with structure in any way as long as he's getting it. The minute he signs on the dotted line, the money's his. So, and Boris has worked with the Phillies many, many times. So I wouldn't think that there'd be a problem. There's zero reason to think that money is going to be the reason that they're not signing in, because the money for Schwarber is just an expansion on the money they're already paying Schwarber.
Sure.
The Castellanos money's coming off the books. They're going to get the money off the books, and they're going to get his money going. So
they might have to pay 10 of it or 15 of it to get him off the books.
There's nothing money-wise that's going to keep that from happening.
Okay.
But I don't know. I wouldn't expect Ranger to be back, but I'm not ruling it out.
Coming up next, is the dream to the repeat still alive? We'll get more of your text messages on this conversation. If you want to call in as well, you can at 610-632-0975. The 2023 season feel is real. Believe in what your gut is telling you is all I'll say. But the question in press conferences has shifted that way as well. I'll explain more coming up next. It is Kincade and Salciunas here on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
2023 all over again. I'm Connor Thomas, and with NFL Week 13 coming to a close, the Eagles are facing a bunch of questions like that as they look at their potential to another deep playoff run. And at 8-4, with a couple of tough losses, it feels like it's dwindling. Despite being the favorites to win their division, Nick Sirianni talked yesterday about the lessons that you have to learn and why it's not necessarily 2023 again.
The lessons we learned in 23 resulted in kind of what happened last year. So, of course, win, lose, or draw, you're always constantly trying to learn and get better. Sometimes that sting of the loss has even more impact.
Hopefully they can figure it out by Monday night. That's when they'll take on the Chargers in L.A. Quarterback Justin Herbert underwent hand surgery yesterday as a fracture in his left hand, non-throwing hand. His status is uncertain for Monday. We'll keep you updated. The Flyers fell to the Penguins 5-1 last night. Sidney Crosby, 2 goals for Pittsburgh. They're off tonight. Sixers take on the Wizards at home tonight at 7 p.m. You can hear that game live right here on The Fanatic. Joel Embiid is out for tonight's game. Amy Fadul will join us for the entire 9 o'clock hour, so we'll talk to her later on in the show. This update is brought to you by Audible. Stuck in traffic? Audible's romance collection will have you falling fast in the slow lane. Satisfy every side of you with rom-coms, romantasy, and the really steamy stuff. Listen free with a 30-day trial at audible.com. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and the best Birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Topic for you this morning. That's a fun one. Is the repeat dream dead?
Is it fun?
Is the repeat dream dead? By the way, shout out to our man Dawood on our YouTube chat. He's one of the members of the Postal Service. So weather today, God bless
frightful.
you, man. Yeah,
Dawood,
I know your father was.
My dad was too. A lot of my uncles were too, and so
days like today can't be fun.
My dad used to have to carry the mail bag on his back too. So he had they didn't have trucks back then.
Yeah.
So he was over in a place called Pilgrim Gardens, if you know Drexel Hill. So he would have that whole area over there, and they'd have to carry it on their back and walk around.
Yeah.
Nasty.
I can only imagine.
Rain, sleet, or snow, the mail is trained to go.
Yeah, you know what, though? That doesn't apply anymore in a lot of areas. Like I know in our area it doesn't apply out in where I live. Out in Landview, that doesn't apply. We have a bad weather day, we get double mail the second day. Unfortunately, Dawood's out there.
You know what?
He's delivering the mail.
You know what? I'm fine with the double mail.
I'm not.
Why?
Because it's supposed to be delivered.
All junk.
I check my mail once a month.
90% of my mail is junk.
I'd love to opt out of the junk mail. Dawood, though, he's making sure you get your mail. He's out there. He's not sitting there saying, "Oh, it's a little cold today. I'm not going out." He's tough. Dawood.
I just don't need. I don't need the the car insurance, the weekly car insurance letters that aren't my insurance.
That aren't your insurance
You
company?
want this new insurance policy?
If there's something important, they'll call me.
Yeah,
and if
exactly.
they call me, I'll ignore it. And then they'll leave me a voicemail, and I'll get to them a couple months later.
That sounds like my life.
That's everybody's life.
I deleted 115 text messages last week.
We're not responsible. We would have picked the Eagles' offense
I'm
by
at
now.
56 right now.
There's probably 30 you haven't answered from us.
Probably.
Right, Connor?
No, he's not on the afternoon show.
Exactly.
All right. 2023 season. A lot of media members have pushed back on it, right, John? I mean,
yes, it's been constant.
We've asked a lot of different people, DeCecco, our man Jeff, Zach Berman. Over the season, we've asked a lot of questions about whether or not the feel of 2023 is there. The first person to even mention it was Jeremy Fowler after the Eagles lost their second straight game when it was the Giants game.
And he got pushback from people within the Eagles press corps.
Right. And
no.
And
Jeremy's right.
That's their feel. That's what they were getting, their sense of whatever. And then they win a couple games after that, right? And so maybe it did go away. But now that the local media members are starting to ask Nick Sirianni about it, that's when you start reading into things. It could be a dangerous place. But remember, a lot of reporters here locally wouldn't even ask about it because they just did not get that sense. Nick Sirianni was asked about it yesterday.
I think you saw a lot of that. The lessons we learned in 23 resulted in kind of what happened last year. So, of course, you always take lessons in everything. Win, lose, or draw, you're always constantly trying to learn and get better. Sometimes that sting of the loss or, like you said, the 2023 season has even more impact, which is why I'm grateful for adversity and looking for an opportunity to get better from the adversity. And I think that most definitely those have lasting lessons. Won't be specific about it. I have a very specific thoughts of and written down of exactly what we learned and how we learned it and what we did for that. And so, obviously those lumps that you take, if you allow them to, can knock you down and keep you down, or those lumps that you take can let you rise up above everything.
All right.
Gobbledygook.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, he's gonna use what happened in 23
blah,
to try
blah,
use
blah.
that information to try not to allow it to happen again today.
Well,
I get it.
Here's the thing. Then it's great. It's great that he talks and he talks and he talks and he talks. Change something. Change something. He's not changing anything. So it's just talk, Nick. It's just talk. You're just saying stuff. You're just bloviating. It doesn't care. I don't care what you wrote down in your little book like John, does. This is the Marks book. He left it behind. By the way, this is the playbook from John Marks. He left it behind. I don't care what you wrote in your little book from 2023. We all lived it. You didn't change anything. You keep coming back telling us, yeah. We learned some things. I wrote it down. Now I'm not going to share it with you. What good does it do? If you don't change your tactics, what good does it do?
Man, you've gotten more emotional than I have today, and I'm the one that's saying the dream's dead. I'm the one that has said the dream is dead.
What? No, I'm disgusted.
No, he's more emotional than I am.
Because I'm disgusted. I'm disgusted when somebody just continually is stop peeing on my leg and tell me it's raining.
Okay,
hey, Connor, what's up?
It's constant.
We need you to do something now because you are the last bastion of this Eagles season on this show.
Yes.
Why? Like, what is your biggest reason for believing they're not dead? Because you're as mad at this team, more mad at this team than we are today.
No, I'm more mad at the leadership.
Okay.
I'm mad at the guy in charge. I'm mad at the guy in charge because he is lying to us.
But the players haven't been good enough. So, like, what are you hanging your hat on that they're not dead?
Because of the fact that what I know is that it has been a bad stretch. It's been a bad stretch. It absolutely has been, especially for the offense. It's been a bad stretch. But they have the best resume in 2025 in the NFC of beating good teams. So of all the teams, of all these teams that we think are better than them, they haven't created a better resume over 3 months of beating good teams. So I know they've got it in them.
You're not wrong, but if somebody came and applied for a job, and we know the NFL is very much a what have you done for me lately league. And there was a great resume up until 2017 or 2018, and they're applying for a job in 2025, and there's a gap in that resume, they might not be the same employee. They might not be the same worker.
Well, if you were talking to me about a year, I would buy it. If you're talking to me not even a calendar month, I'm not buying it. It's not a calendar month.
My only thing
and by the way, in that calendar month, they beat the Packers and the Lions, who are two of the teams that are expected to make the playoffs in the NFC.
Now, three of the teams that you've mentioned, those were in September. And to me, it was a totally different.
So we're not counting September wins don't count now.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying who the Eagles were in September are they've gotten worse. So just because they beat some of these teams, and look, they were great wins, and they deserve all the respect for them. But the team that I'm watching in now December, now that the calendar's turned to December, they are nothing like that team.
So you're saying they can't be that team again?
I don't think they can. I think the offense sucks.
I know you say you don't think they can. I believe they can be because I've seen them go to 2 Super Bowls in the last 3 years. I've seen them dominate teams. And more importantly, I've seen them over the last 3 years have the best record in the NFC against winning teams.
And yet you have no faith in Kevin Patullo. You're very down on the leadership of this football team. When is it going to change?
No, what I'm down on is what I've always been down on with Nick Sirianni. Nick Sirianni and his gobbledygook is his nonsense of just say something and mean it. Speak when you say something, mean it. He just talks. He talks for the sake of talking. His words don't mean anything.
Yeah, because he has no answers.
And that's what it is.
Okay, and that's why I think they're dead.
But his players can. His players have shown it. Over the last 3 years,
one player is so upset that he doesn't get the ball, then he gets the ball, and he's not upset anymore, but they've lost both games.
And that's absolutely the truth.
And that also falls under the umbrella of Sirianni.
I'm going to tell you, I blame A.J. Brown for this year. I'm going to put him almost at the top of the villains list.
I'll go Patullo before A.J. Brown.
No, almost at the top. I'm not putting him ahead of Patullo. But I'm putting A.J. Brown's selfishness, his absolute childish behavior, his singular desire to me, everything, which started the 4 days after the Super Bowl, that is absolutely part of the reason this team finds itself where it is on December 2nd.
All right. Question for you guys before we get back to the text line. Eagles play Monday night. They're doing one of the secondary broadcasts.
Yeah, the kids' broadcast.
The Monsters, Inc. Mm-hmm. If it's bad, if the Eagles' offense looks as bad, would you go to the Monsters, Inc. to at least be entertained?
I sent this text last night to a group chat with my buddies where I said I might just watch the Monster Cast because it can't get much worse.
What do we got on the text line, Connor?
All right. We have a lot of people who do still believe in the Eagles. This texter, Dan in Warminster, says the Eagles are the opposite of the Phillies. Eagles perform well in the playoffs. You can't write them off prematurely.
You can't. I mean, you can't. This team is the best since 2022. Is the best team in the NFC versus teams that go into a game with a 600 winning percentage, and we're talking a 3+ years. 3.5 seasons.
Yeah.
So this isn't a short sample size.
They have a chance of falling to the 4 seed still.
They could. I don't see it, but they could.
I mean,
Sure, they could. They have a bet. They're closer to the 1 seed. So if you're going to say that, they could be the 1 seed.
Yeah, they could.
They have a better chance to be the 1 seed.
I don't see them piling up wins or the teams that are ahead of them, specifically the Rams, to start piling up
They have the
losses.
second easiest schedule in the NFL left.
Who?
The Eagles.
Okay.
The Eagles have the second easiest schedule of the 32 teams. See, like for everything that looks bad, and it does, there is something that you say, well, wait a minute. And then I think the people who are out on them right now, I guarantee it with a capital G, the minute the Eagles start winning games, and I believe that they will start to win games, are going to, and I don't know what it's going to look like because right now I can't. With this team, I can't. Is that it's going to be, well, look who they're beating. They got an easy schedule. They're beating the Raiders. They're beating the Commanders. I mean, like whoop-de-doo. And to me, it's going to be a no-win.
I will say, everybody that said that about the Eagles' offense against the Giants has been right.
Is what?
Well, it was the Giants. Everyone that said that turned out being correct.
Absolutely.
Right? So what I'm saying is,
we said it.
If they beat the Raiders by putting up and they score 4 touchdowns in it, I might have to say, well, yeah, it was the Raiders.
Okay.
This offense has been so bad. It's been one game this year where you felt good about an offensive performance.
And their offense.
And it was against the Giants.
And their team still did enough to beat more good teams in the NFC than any other team.
I'm glad that you will hang your hat on that one, Johnny.
Oh, my gosh.
Coming up next.
I'm going to hang it on the facts. Yes, I'm going to.
Yeah, and the fact is the offense sucks.
Yes, and I say that fact too. But the other teams, their offenses must be terrible because they just find a way to not win those games.
The defense was really good those weeks.
And that can't happen again?
At some point, they won't be able to hold teams to under 10 points week in and week out. Coming up next, we have our second opinion segment at 8:10, which is our chance to close the book on the previous game. But before we do that, there is a storyline that got lost in the incompetency of the offense. We'll tell you what next. It's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. Kincade Salciunas, 97.5, The Fanatic. We'll get back to our text line here momentarily. But there was a storyline that obviously we didn't really talk much about because the game took place Friday. We reacted yesterday to the offense once again being putrid. No snaps on defense for Jihad Campbell on Friday.
This was wild.
None. Zero.
No, that's wild.
Which is interesting, especially in a game where the defense was on the field for 21 minutes in the first half.
I mean, he did not sniff the field.
And I wonder why that is. Now, look, Vic Fangio always has methods to his madness, right? And it's worked, especially here in Philadelphia. But I wonder, did he fall out of love with what he's been doing defensively? Is it Nakobe Dean's playing so well that he has to be on the field for every single snap?
Well, Friday he wasn't.
No, the whole defense in the ground game wasn't.
I love Nakobe, but big Nakobe fan. But Friday and watching the short game yesterday, Nakobe did not have a great game on Friday.
Really, the only guy on defense that had a good game was Phillips.
Phillips had a fine game
After Connor called him out.
Motivation.
I think that I actually think, too, Quinyon had a really good game.
Oh, well, yeah.
Quinyon had a really good game. I mean, but other than that, I mean, it was not a great game for almost anybody.
No.
But they were getting gashed. I don't understand it, but and do you not change something up when you're giving up 240 yards on the ground, 260 yards on the ground, whatever it was?
You would think so. I mean, I always feel uncomfortable questioning Vic Fangio, but
so do I
because of how great he is.
This tells me though that he's maybe fallen a little out of love.
That's my guess. For him to play no snaps on defense.
Not one. And more importantly, I think it brings us to the bigger question going forward, and it's not for today. We don't have to do it today, but it's one just to keep in the back pocket. It's obvious that Vic has just fallen completely in love with, Nakobe Dean last year he did.
Yeah.
This year he has. He knows Nakobe is that guy. To me, you got to pay Nakobe Dean, right? You got to pay Nakobe Dean. Because look, if he's not playing Jihad Campbell, you gotta pay Nakobe Dean, right? This offseason, you can't let him walk, and you're not gonna franchise tag.
It depends how much he's gonna get paid.
You're not gonna franchise tag.
No, I mean Eagles don't do that. Period.
Okay,
but the market for Nakobe Dean, I don't know what it's going to be.
I don't think it's going to be that with 3 seasons that had injuries.
Right.
I don't think it's going to be that high, but it's clear that this organization listens to Vic Fangio heavily.
Sure.
Vic Fangio's telling them right now, I want Nakobe Dean. I love Nakobe Dean. I'm not playing your big number 1 pick that you guys wanted, that you guys were all high on. I'm not even playing him. And his playing time has just gone.
Yeah. Well,
hit the floor.
And Nakobe's been playing really well up until pretty much Friday, but that was
right.
The entire defense.
So I'm just saying is that there's it's an interesting story to watch.
Yeah, I lean towards yes, but it's going to be hopefully a short-term contract. The one thing with the Jihad Campbell thing, if anyone's looking at this as a negative on him, remember the Jordan Davis situation with Linval Joseph and Kinsu? Mm-hmm. That feels like what this is to me. It's more that you got Nakobe Dean back, and
he's playing well. You're playing the proven veteran.
But Jordan Davis missed 4 games with an injury and had to go on injured reserve. That's why you brought in those guys.
Yeah,
Jordan Davis wasn't available to play. He was off the roster.
But even when he came back, it was just like all of a sudden you're not playing him because you have these veterans. I think we're at the point in the season where you lean on the veteran players who have been there before.
Well, you didn't play him as much. They didn't play him as
It wasn't
much.
a clean no snaps.
They're not even playing him. In a game they're getting crushed. They're getting gashed. They didn't even trust him to go on the field.
But linebackers are less rotational than interior defensive linemen.
I can't believe it was less rotational at that game.
Well, it was a bad game, but
you're not trying something else.
Zach Baum played all 87 snaps. Nakobe Dean played 82 of the 86.
And they didn't play them effectively. Zach Baum had a bad game.
I'm not saying it's right. I just don't want people to look at this and be like, "Oh, is Jihad Campbell not the guy?"
Yeah, but his snap count was down, has been down, going down.
Yeah,
keeps going down.
I think it's more what other players are doing and leaning on veterans than saying this guy's not good enough. I just think he's a rookie. I don't want people to overstep on the Jahad Campbell part of the
It'll be
equation.
interesting to see if he's back on the field this upcoming
So I would
week.
tell you this is, to me, it goes differently contrary to Connor. This goes to the whole thing that I was telling people before the season ended, goes to college football with Arch Manning. When people were like, well, Arch Manning is Arch Manning. Wait till you see Arch Manning. And I'm like, Arch Manning's been around college football standing on the sideline with a clipboard. There's a reason he's been standing on a sideline. If you're a great quarterback as a freshman,
you're gonna
you hit
play.
the field. If you're a great quarterback as a sophomore, the coach plays you. And there's a reason that I think that he's not playing.
Is the dream still alive? Repeating as Super Bowl champions. Let's go to Hal in Naples.
What's up, Hal?
Yo, Hal. All right.
Hello.
There he is. What's up, Hal?
Sorry about that. What's going on, guys?
Good, buddy.
Yeah, I was just, like I said, I've been a couple weeks from listening to
Hal, we
something out
can't
there.
hear you. We can't hear you. Hold the phone to your head.
Do you think it's lies at the feet?
We got it. We can't
yeah,
get
we
you.
gotta get
Hal,
him
you
out.
got to hold the phone to your face. Maybe if he's on speaker.
He was going to talk about the offensive line being the issue. By the way, Hal.
By the way, it's
is
right.
strong. It's a great name. Hal's a great name.
And you know what, though? There are no Hals today.
Handyman Hal.
You know what Hal is?
Handyman Hal.
You know what Hal is?
What?
Harold.
Oh.
There are no Harolds. You don't hear Harold.
Handyman Hal. So you're not about that life.
I don't know what that is either.
When Coop, there was a YouTube. He's a YouTube guy. Handyman Hal. He explains different trucks to kids.
I know.
That was a phase. Handyman Hal.
I know. Bob the Builder.
Yeah, no. This is a real guy. He was knockoff Blippy. Pretty much.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah.
Could Handyman Hal fix the Eagles' offense?
No, because
he looked like a football guy.
Nick Sirianni would not give him a shot.
He looked like a football guy. I could see Handyman Hal being a part of it. All right. What do we got on the text line?
Jeff from D.C. checks in. Jeff's always very positive. He's
Yes, he
saying it
is.
today. He says, I'm still in because no one in the NFC scares me, including L.A., even if the Eagles have to go to L.A.
I will say the Rams scare me.
Yeah,
Period.
they scare me.
The Rams scare me. I understand they lost to the Panthers. The Rams scare me. Period. I know the Eagles beat them in September. The Rams scare me.
The Eagles have beaten them like pretty much beat them every time they play them.
Okay.
It's every time they play them.
And
they
you're the
beat
one. You're the first one to always bring up the block kick. The miracle.
No.
Miracle
This one,
block kick.
This one was I do because I'm objective.
Okay, but
because I say that. But the thing is, all the other times the Eagles find ways to beat the Rams constantly. The Rams find ways to never beat the Eagles. That matters. Scoreboard matters. Results of games matter. It's not statistics. It matters who wins the game.
I can tell you the last two results have been L's for the Eagles, and it's been trending that way for a while.
Yeah, it has been.
A quote from John Kincaid's email. The Eagles have a path to get on a roll. He will try to explain that to me next, and I will say exactly what I said to you all last week. I have a predetermined answer. That's not a good thing. It's Kincade Salciunas.
Well, you're like Sirianni.
97.5 The Fanatic. All right, let's talk about your house. All right, it's getting cold outside. Can you believe the year is almost over? It is December 2nd. We're in the final month of 2025. Completing tasks before the end of the year can help you start fresh and organized in 2026. That's actually important. Start the new year off fresh, right? It's time to address some things in your home that you've been ignoring because you've probably been traveling. All right, it's summertime, and the kids are back at school. Now you're getting prepared for the holidays. You're doing your holiday shopping. Maybe you've been ignoring drywall cracks, cracked bricks, floor and wall gaps, uneven floors, sticking windows and doors, bowed walls. Groundworks knows that all these signs point to major damage that is building up in your foundation, and these things only get worse over time. Wintry weather does not help either, by the way. But don't worry. With a free foundation inspection from Groundworks, the team's experts will identify your home's issues at the source. They'll know exactly what they have to do to get it fixed and to keep your home healthy, to keep you safe. Now, you want to get out of these problems sooner rather than later, though, because the longer you wait, the more extensive and expensive the fix could be. So visit groundworks.com today. You can book a free inspection, and they'll also provide you with a no-obligation quote if they find something that they need to repair. They do all of this for free. It's just the job itself you pay for. Groundworks, there's a reason why they're the trusted local experts.
Now, on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Wrapping up Week 13, I'm Connor Thomas, and the NFL finished up their Week 13 slate last night with the Patriots taking down the Giants. The Eagles, as we head into Week 14, are facing more questions than ever as to where their season is heading. And at 8-4, they're still the heavy favorites to win their division. But Nick Sirianni talked yesterday about the lessons the team needs to learn from their recent issues.
Obviously, as we think through it, we're hypercritical on ourselves as well and say to ourselves, well, we might have thought this was the best going in, but as we look at it, we have to change some things too. You can't just keep doing the same thing over and over and over again, expect different results.
Well, we've seen the same result the past couple of weeks. 2 losses in a row for the Eagles. Hopefully they change that up Monday night with their matchup with the Chargers in L.A. Quarterback Justin Herbert underwent surgery yesterday to stabilize a fracture in his left hand, so his status is uncertain for Monday. If not him, it would be Trey Lance for the Chargers. The Flyers fell to the Penguins 5-1 last night. It was a rough return to the home ice. Sidney Crosby, 2 goals for Pittsburgh. The Flyers are off today. Sixers take on the Wizards at home tonight, 7 p.m. tip-off. You can hear that game live right here on the Fanatic. Joel Embiid out for this one. Amy Fadul joins us at 9 o'clock for the rest of the show. This update is brought to you by Wawa. Gift cards are a perfect present for teachers, co-workers, the delivery driver, even your family gift swap. Wawa's got you covered with gift cards for everyone on your list. Gotta have a Wawa. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and the best Birds coverage. 97.5 The Fanatic, 97.5thefanatic.com.
WP NHC1 Burlington, Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group station broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studio, powering possibilities. It is a Tuesday, which means Amy Fadul will be joining us in studio today for the entire 9 o'clock hour.
Hopefully she has a safe ride in. It is a little slippery out in Chester County.
We're getting the weather report?
Yeah, there's snow at white coating out on like the dirt areas, the beds.
Yeah.
Out at my house as I look at the Ring cameras. So just be careful out there. Be careful out there on the road. Everybody be careful.
All right, before we get your path.
Yes.
In your email, again, your quote, the Eagles have a path to get on a roll. I would like to hear said path, and then I will respond with something I said last week. But Elon's
Are you going to say poppycock?
Yeah.
Poppycock.
Elon's a big listener to the show, right?
Elon listens all the time.
All right. I think social media needs to try to implement something. You know how, like, if there's something inappropriate, whether it's, you can use your dirty minds any way you want, or even like violent stuff, there's usually that warning.
Oh, yeah.
You can click on it if you want to watch this.
But be careful. This is like guarded content.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think they need to be able to do that with shows and movies.
Spoiler block?
They do.
Yes. I have not seen that.
Yes, they do. They do it at the beginning of every television show on television.
No, he's saying on social media.
But on social media, they don't put any kind of warnings?
No.
Really?
And the reason why, so the latest Stranger Things, I'm not talking about Breaking Bad, right? I'm not talking about.
On Stranger Things, they don't have the. Wait a minute. At the beginning of an episode.
No, I'm talking about social media.
Oh,
Forget the show itself. On social media, there are people that are posting clips from the show.
Okay.
But the show just dropped last week, and not everybody has all the time in the world, right?
All right.
So my wife and I just started watching the latest season 2 days ago. We're 3 episodes in, right? Because we got to go to bed at some point.
And everybody is, they're actually older than you, and they're high school kids.
Yeah. But now my algorithm is, can't believe this happened. Can't believe that. Not just words, like actual video from the show. I feel like that's got to be, they should be able to find a way to police that so that it doesn't
What do you
show
mean? Is it filthy or something? Is it dirty or is
No,
it
it's ruining.
I don't want to get spoiled.
What? Then all you got to do is go to your social media, put in Stranger Things, and block it. Block the content.
There's sometimes where they don't even put the word in and it still pops up.
If you put in Stranger Things in your blocked content, you won't get anything.
All videos, even though they don't mention the word
anything
in it.
You won't get any kind of content.
Right.
Yeah, but if somebody misspells it by one word, you still get got.
Right.
That's how Endgame got ruined thanks to, who was that? Was that Sean McCoy?
Sean McCoy.
On your feed.
Yes.
Okay. You can't tell when a video starts that it's something from Stranger Things? Just stop watching.
All right, but now I remember it already.
Well, how much do you watch? Like, if you see something, just move right off of it quickly.
If I refresh my Twitter here,
okay,
because I got a notification from a listener, and then I go back to the homepage, boom, there's something from Stranger Things.
Okay, then go
right
to the next. Then go right to the next thing. Don't watch the video. Right. Or how about this? You could do this temporarily if this is becoming a problem. Disable where video plays automatically.
How about that?
You can do that.
That's too many things.
No, it isn't. It's one simple click on your profile, so that way you have to actually activate video to play. So then you'll never have it done. This is simple stuff.
You know who you're talking to.
Pop up. Come on.
You know who you're talking to.
If you're a listener out there that's caught up on Stranger Things, tweet all the videos at Andrew.
Stop.
No, don't do that.
Let him know what happens.
Don't do that. But it is sort of very similar to where back in the day, there was a show, 90210, where the high school kids were older than I am. Like some of the members of the cast were older than I was. Yeah, and I was out of Temple.
That took too long.
I'm like, come on.
Took too long.
Too much.
All right, tell me about this path.
There's a path. And it's a path but I think much like Nick Sirianni, you've already got an answer in your head.
Yes.
So I don't think you're open-minded.
Yeah, you're not going to sway me today. I mean, I already told you 5 minutes in the show, I think the dream is dead, but go ahead.
The Eagles are going to be favored in 4 of the 5 games. They could be favored in 5 of the 5 games that remain. The Eagles have the second easiest schedule. I listened to Middays with Marks yesterday, and then I was researching it myself as they were bringing up, because John and Sean Brace were trying to come up with some okay, can we change our opinion on how things are trending and how things are going?
Very noble of them.
And it was very, very good. It was good conversation. The Eagles have the second easiest schedule. So out of 32 teams, the Eagles' path is second easiest. Okay. So the Eagles absolutely have the chance to be able to get on a roll. So unless you think that the Eagles are just absolutely the worst team in God's creation.
I don't believe that's the case.
Okay.
That's the Tennessee Titans right now.
So then if you – okay, so that's every bit. So if we would assume the Eagles will find their way to 3 wins, right? Can we assume – if I was to say to you right now, with the second easiest schedule left, I'm not even asking you to say they're going to rampage. To 3 wins.
Yeah, they will beat
Connor,
the
3 wins.
Raiders is a lock win.
Raiders, and I'm going to give you 2 Commanders.
1 Commanders.
One lock.
Commander.
Well, we're talking locks.
Lock wins.
Yeah, one lock.
Okay.
So I'm at 2.
So you're only at 2 lock wins.
2 lock wins. Yeah, I mean, lock, CT 18 guarantee. You don't throw those out willy-nilly.
Okay, so you're only at 2.
Wait, you gave a CT 18 guarantee last week.
I did. I was wrong.
He said the Eagles would beat the Bears. That was a CT 18
Well, his CT 18s have been a little. They've been like
that's the first one I missed in a while.
but they've been like potholes on 76. I would suggest to you that there are 3. The Eagles getting to 11 to me is a lock. The Eagles getting to 12 is, I can understand if someone goes, yeah, John, let's not get too ballsy because the Bills game and the Chargers game could easily go either way. But
how about this? Trey Lance plays Monday? Lock.
No. I'll tell you exactly what happens when Trey Lance plays Monday.
Are you going to give me a Joe Webb game?
Speaking of lock, it's the Drew Lock game from 2023 against Seattle.
They're not losing to Trey Lance.
They would never lose to Drew Lock either.
This defense is not that defense.
Yeah, I agree with John.
This defense just gave up 5,000 rushing yards.
If Trey Lance plays on Monday, stone cold lock Eagles.
The Eagles, if they do not face Justin Herbert, it is a lock win. If they don't face
coming
Justin
after
Herbert,
that embarrassing loss,
there is a and
mini bye.
More importantly, again, the Eagles with the mini bye.
Man.
There it is.
Sirianni's undefeated.
So what I'm saying to you is that the Eagles have a way to be able to get the traction to feel good because I believe the Eagles' problems are mental. I'm convinced the Eagles' problems are mental. I think that Jalen Hurts is freaking Confucius. I think he sits there and he talks in Chinese proverbs. I think A.J. Brown is somebody who's obsessed with his own stat sheet. I think that there are guys that don't want to tell you really what's going on, that are afraid to tell you what's going on in the offensive line because they know what's going on and they don't want to talk. They don't want to call the divas out. I believe we have a head coach who doesn't have the guts to just say to us that I hired the wrong guy. I once again promoted somebody to a position he wasn't qualified for. And to me, I believe good feelings can once again get everybody going.
So here's my response, and it's going to be exactly what I said to Connor on Thursday and to you on Friday. To me, the Eagles have not played well enough to earn the respect of a 7-point line or, a 10-point prediction or even
right.
Doc went as far as
Doc went 14. But Doc's nuts.
The Eagles might be favorites in maybe 4 out of the next 5 games, to your point.
No, they're
John.
going to be, yeah.
But to me, they don't earn my respect to actually risk money on them. Like, they don't. They don't have an offense that will put away games. They might win, but I think we're going to be hanging on by the seat of our pants up until the final whistle because they don't have a ground game to put teams away. And if you can't put teams away, you saw it against the Dallas Cowboys. If you can't put teams away, you're keeping teams in ball games, and they might find a way to come back and win. So I understand what you're saying by the path. I understand that the Eagles are playing lesser opponents, right? But they do not earn any respect from me right now to say more than 2 lock wins. They just don't, unless Trey Lance plays on Monday.3-2.
Connor?
I feel good about that as well.
So you guys are both going 3-2. So you have the Eagles ending 11-6.
Yeah.
I have the Eagles ending,
and they're in the playoffs.
and I have the Eagles ending 12-5.
Okay.
Okay. So there you go. Well, I mean, they're going to be in the playoffs.
Yeah.
They're going to be in the playoffs.
Unless Doomsday
and if
happens.
Detroit, I'm going to tell you this: when Detroit wins on Thursday night, because I do believe Detroit's
sure
going to win
hope
on
so.
Thursday night. But by the way, can I cross my fingers and my toes and everything else? When they win on Thursday night, I think there'll be a little bit of a giant exhale.
That would help.
And then, if the Eagles were then to go to L.A. and take care of business, and the magic number's 2 for the division, then everybody goes, oh, okay. Now the division's wrapped up. I think there's a lot of angst going on right now that by next week at this time might feel completely
Yeah, because right now you're looking behind you at Michael Myers.
Right.
If Michael Myers is dead, now you're just looking ahead of you at the impending car crash that you might drive into.
Absolutely.
But
He never dies. Sorry, spoiler.
coming up next,
I think he dies in the last one, doesn't he?
No, they'll come up with another way to.
Yes.
Don't worry, they're gonna bleed that one out.
By the way, they asked me to be a body double for Jamie Lee Curtis in a couple of the movies. I turned it down.
Second opinion
I was
segment
too
next.
busy.
Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. headlines or something other Eagle related, like questions for DeCecco or not headlines. And it would be brought to us by who, Connor?
Our friends over at Lundy Law. For over 70 years, Lundy Law has been fighting for injured people. So if your coworkers are saying not to do your segment, if you need them, remember the name Lundy Law.
Yeah.
Your injury lawyers, visit LundyLaw.com. That's LundyLaw.com.
Got all upset about it last week.
He got a little upset with you last week.
But on Tuesdays, we do something called our Second Opinion segment.
You might not always agree with what you hear. Sometimes you need a second opinion. Brought to you by the consultants in medical oncology and hematology.
Tell us about them, Johnny.
They're the best. CMOH.org, Dr. Sprandio, senior, junior, the entire team. They gave me my life back, and they can give you yours, too, if you get a cancer diagnosis. They're the best. CMOH.org.
All right, I have a legitimate question as my Second Opinion segment. Did Nick Sirianni and the Eagles coaching staff give us a middle finger on Friday?
Explain.
How in the world is everybody, from fans to us here on the radio to media members, asking, hey, why don't you just give Tank Bigsby a couple of carries? Just a couple. Nobody's saying give him 20. Nobody's saying give him 10, 4, 5, 6. Maybe give him a drive, 2 drives, like they used to with Kenneth Gainwell.
Oh, sure.
Not only did he not get a carry, he played 1 snap.
Jahad Campbell was jealous.
That's true. So Barkley actually kind of ran the ball well on Sunday, which was great, or Friday, because they had 3 linebackers that were out with injury. But he only ran the ball 13 times. So what the hell was the game plan Friday? Can somebody explain it to me? Were they ever down big up until the 4th quarter?
Nope.
No, it was a 1-score. They were, in fact, with the ball in the red zone with a chance to take the lead. Down 10-9.
The ground game is
in the 4th quarter.
The ground game has sucked this year. Like, nobody's denying that. But it almost looked like you finally got something going on Friday. And not only did you not give the guy that everybody's been asking for at least like 5 touches, you didn't even give him 1 carry. Saquon actually ran the ball well for the first time in a while. And they only gave him 13 touches. Why? Any explanation?
Nope. Listen.
Can't say behind the sticks.
The Eagles might be negging us. They're just doing exactly the opposite of what we complain about. I don't understand it.
He ran the ball well.
He did.
And then you had a guy that's been running the ball well, and you didn't give him a carry.
It's so funny that you go there because I don't go there, but I go to another question that I've got.
Dallas Goedert, middle of the field.
It's exactly what I'm asking.
2 catches.
I had to go watch the 15-minute game yesterday and then go watch on the NFL Plus the all-22 stuff to try to even see it more. Because there are a lot of people going, he missed Dallas Goedert on that one throw. And look, Jalen Hurts.
He did. It was bad.
That was horrendous.
Yeah, it was bad.
A horrendous miss. But here's the more horrendous thing than that, is that there was not a game plan to just feature Dallas Goedert in the game plan. How in the hell were you not doing it? You're talking about running the ball more and trying to find more creative ways to run the ball. How was Dallas Goedert not more featured in this game to be able to exploit those linebackers being out? To say that the middle of the Bears defense looked soft, vulnerable, to my naked eye. I'm not DeCecco. I'm not someone like Jeff McClain watching it or anything like that. If I can see it, how the hell does the Eagles offensive staff not see it or not identify this as a potential vulnerability? To me, it's why I'm more aggravated today. And a couple of people on social media going, you seem more aggravated about Friday's loss today than you were yesterday. And I say, guilty as charged.
You did what I did.
Because I went and watched yesterday, and I'm annoyed as hell by what I saw and what I learned.
I told you, 2:45 a.m. Monday morning, I couldn't sleep anymore. So I watched a recap of it.
Because I couldn't on the weekend.
And I was angry.
I couldn't on the weekend. I didn't. Dylan McKinnon said yesterday that, but I mean, seriously, terrible.
Connor, what do you got?
So I'm going to go a little positive on this one because we had a player on defense make another big play. And I'll tell you right now, if I'm buying stock in somebody on the Philadelphia Eagles defense at this moment in time, it's number 58.
Yeah.
Jalen Hunt, just the more I watch him play football, the more he's in the right spot. A lot. And there's still work to be done, and he's not Jalen Carter, and he's not Quinyon Mitchell, but This dude just finds a way to be in spots that impact the football game. And while there are still questions about where his ceiling is, I feel very comfortable with him as a starting edge rusher on this team going forward. I think he's going to keep getting better, and we'll see where he gets to. But I think when the season's all said and done, we're going to look back at this and say he took another nice step towards being a huge member of this defense.
Here's the really interesting thing, and again, we're talking about Vic Fangio only playing not playing Jahad Campbell a single snap, right? I don't know the extent of Nolan Smith's health, because remember, he came back from the injury. But
Correct.
When did Nolan Smith come back? After the bye? Packers game?
I believe so, yes.
So Alex Hunt has played 63% of the snaps, 61% of the snaps, 58% of the snaps, and then played 70% last week. So since Nolan Smith's come back, it's not like Jalen Smith's. I thought he'd drop down into the 50s and they'd rotate guys, especially after you acquired Jalen Phillips. Vic Fangio's been playing Phillips and Hunt more than anybody else.
No questions asked.
It's a good sign for Jalen Hunt.
Hey, it's and again too, Connor, as you point, he has made plays.
Yeah, 2 interceptions, one a pick six.
And memorable plays matter to me. Like
I agree.
Smelling the ball, coming up at a big opportunity and making a play, which is great.
Yeah. All right, tell us one more time about CMOH.
I love the folks at CMOH, the consultants in medical oncology and hematology. In fact, we're taking the docs out to dinner tomorrow night. So we're going on out and going to have a little holiday dinner tomorrow night. It's great. CMOH.org. If anyone in your family gets a cancer diagnosis, I promise you, give them a chance to help lead you to a path to victory, because they did. They have a much better plan than Kevin Petullo does. I promise you.
Philly 405 on YouTube says, I too am more frustrated today. And Relative Timeworks says, less and less optimistic that this coaching staff can dig them out of the hole with every time Sirianni speaks. Our question today, we'll check our text line next, 610-632-0975. Is the dream of the repeat dead? I think it died Friday night. I just don't see this offense all of a sudden figuring things out.
After that cold, I almost died Friday night.
We'll get more text messages on that topic next. Also, one ESPN analyst was in the building on Friday. He spoke almost like a fan, but also analyzed it the way he's supposed to. And I love it because it shows that a lot of us have been right all along. It is Kincade and Salciunas here on 97.5 The Fanatic. All right, let's talk about that FanDuel Sportsbook app, where I would never bet on the Eagles, it seems like, the rest of the season. FanDuel, in partnership with Valley Forge, is the #1 sportsbook for same-game parlays, not just in football, but also hoops. From points and rebounds to threes and assists, FanDuel is the best place to combine your favorite picks into a same-game parlay or track every stat live, all in one easy-to-use app. And right now is the perfect time to join, because new customers get $150 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. So bet on the players you love, the way you want. Maybe Tyrese Maxey is over in points or is over in three-pointers. Head to FanDuel.com/Fanatic. That's FanDuel.com/Fanatic to sign up today. FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. You got to be 21 plus, present in Pennsylvania. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as knowledgeable bonus bets that expire 7 days at the receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
The Eagles facing questions. I'm Connor Thomas, and with NFL Week 13 coming to a close, the Eagles are facing more questions than ever as to whether or not they'll be able to make another deep playoff run this year. They're 8-4, still heavy favorites to win the NFC East, but there are certainly issues with the team with 2 straight losses. And Nick Sirianni talked yesterday about the lessons the team needs to learn from their recent struggles.
The lessons we learned in 23 resulted in kind of what happened last year. So, of course, win, lose, or draw, you're always constantly trying to learn and get better. Sometimes that sting of the loss has even more impact.
Well, the losses are certainly stinging, Coach, and we'll hopefully not have more sting on Monday night when the Eagles head to L.A. to play the Chargers. Quarterback Justin Herbert underwent surgery on his hand yesterday. He has a fracture in his non-throwing hand. His status is uncertain for Monday night. It'd be Trey Lance if he couldn't go. The Flyers fell to the Penguins 5-1 last night. It was a rough return from their road trip. Sidney Crosby scored 2 goals for Pittsburgh. They're off tonight. Sixers take on the Wizards at home tonight at 7 p.m. You can hear that game live right here on 97.5 The Fanatic. Joel Embiid out out for tonight's contest. Amy Fadul in for today's show. She'll join us in the 9 o'clock hour. This update is brought to you by the Electrical Workers Local 269 and the Electrical Training Alliance. The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers Local 269, NECA, and the Electrical Training Alliance can offer a career with no college debt. Learn more, go to IBEW269.com. I'm Connor Thomas for 97.5 The Fanatic.
Pete is still alive. I believe it died on Friday when I just saw, once again, the offense going up against one of the worst defenses in the NFL do absolutely nothing. Nothing. And I'm not just going to sit here and continue to say, Well, at some point, the offense will figure it out, because if they didn't figure it out against the Bears, they didn't figure it out against the Cowboys, and they have not figured it out 11 out of 12 games this year, Johnny. I just don't see how they're all of a sudden going to figure it out.
Okay, let's say the Eagles end up at the 2 seed.
Okay.
Okay, so both of you. Eagles end up the 2 seed. So by this logic, so in the first round of the series, the first divisional weekend, the wild card weekend, would you, by nature, would your gut instinct be today to think I'm going to be picking them to lose?
What, in the first round? No, I would think that they could beat the San Francisco 49ers.
Okay.
If the season were to,
Okay, so then they win a 49ers playoff game, and then the next week, the Packers are coming in.
I would not sit here comfortably saying they will beat the Packers.
No, you would be saying then that they wouldn't win.
Sure.
So you'd be saying defiantly they will not win at that point.
Sure.
You'd be saying.
Sure.
At that point. You'd be saying the Packers, you'd be betting on the Packers are clearly a better team than the Eagles. They're coming in to beat them, because that's what, if the Eagles end up the 2 seed, that's what the two of you were saying today. You're saying they're not going to win both home playoff games. They may win one, and they could win one because you're not saying they wouldn't win one home playoff game. But you are saying they're not going to win both.
Yeah, but I don't believe they're going to be the 2 seed. That's the problem.
Well, no. But if they do, because I do think they're going to end up the 2 seed. So if they end up the 2 seed, you're saying they lose. They don't win both home playoff games.
Sure, I'll say that.
Okay.
If they're the 2 seed, I would probably pick them at home.
You can't do that, though.
Yes, I can.
Because you've just told me today that they have no shot.
They're not going to be the 2 seed, in my opinion. That's the thing. You're creating a stipulation that I don't agree with.
No, I'm creating a stipulation. You told me it's done.
Yes.
I'm telling you, I think they're going to be the 2 seed.
And
I'm
if
telling
they're
you right
the
now.
2 seed, that means that
then you're changing it.
My response to
So wait a minute. So Connor, you're saying no. You're saying season's done. Repeat dream is done.
Yes.
But if they're the 2 seed, I have a right to change that.
Right, and the reason I'm saying,
can't be.
John, the reason I'm saying the season is done is because I don't believe they're going to be the 2 seed.
He doesn't think they're going to win 4 out of their next 5 games.
But if they end up the 2 seed, you're changing your answer.
Yes.
No, well, you can't do that.
I don't think that's going to happen.
No, I know you don't think it's going to happen, but you can't change the answer. If you're telling me they're dead today, you're telling me they're dead today. You're telling me it's not happening.
Yes.
It's over, and there's no chance of it ever happening. It can't happen.
They're not going to be the 2 seed, and it is over.
Okay, so there it is. That's defined. Because I don't want any backtracking on this. That's why I'm giving you both to 9:53, because there will be no backtracking.
I don't need till 9:53. I'll tell you again at 8:30. The Philadelphia Eagles are not getting back to and winning the Super Bowl. Their offense sucks. It's so bad.
Oh, no. Well, wait. On that, we are brothers in arms on that.
Okay, but I don't think the defense is going to keep every team to 10 points like they did the 2 weeks. We keep on talking about the Lions and Packers games, which were spectacular wins if you just talk about the fact that they went to Lambeau and won, and then they came back and beat the Lions the next week.
How did the Lions offense do against the Eagles defense?
It didn't look good. Do I think they're going to do that a second time to both of those teams? I do not believe that.
Okay.
The offense does not stay on the field for more than 2 minutes.
Do you think that the Eagles offense would be better this time on their home field in a playoff game in January?
I do not believe the Eagles offense is going to get better. No.
So you don't believe the Eagles offense would be better?
I think it sucks.
Okay, I do too. I think it does. So you don't think the Eagles offense would be better than the 10 points that they scored at Lambeau?
No, I don't think they're improving anytime soon.
I do, absolutely.
The offensive coordinator sucks. So the overall belief of let's not turn the football over is a problem that I've had with this team all year long. So it's not like I'm just coming up with this out of thin air since the Chicago game. I've been complaining about that for the last couple of weeks now. Jalen Hurts has not played good football this year. Jalen Hurts has not been good this year. I don't want to sugarcoat it anymore. I know he wins. I know he's successful. I know he's Super Bowl MVP. This year, if we're talking standards to standard, he has not played to any sort of standard that we have for him. And ever since they've gone to the let's get A.J. Brown the football, it's gotten even worse. So the one thing, we did this on post-show headlines yesterday. So, Connor, I'm curious to get your answer on this.
Deal me in. What's up?
One question I asked. Everybody in the world, other than the Eagles coaching staff, was saying, get the ball to A.J. We all agreed, how does this guy have 3 targets in a game? How does this guy have 4 targets into a game? They get the ball to A.J. It's gotten worse. So what's our, next thing to say? Just do this. There's no answer.
Tank Bigsby. I don't know. There is nothing.
So 5 carries to Tank Bigsby, and Jalen runs the ball 2 more times a game.
You're absolutely right, and this is why I am where you are, is because they've tried it. Well, either they've tried it all, or they've shown you with enough sample size that they're not willing to try it. We are stuck where we are.
Or Jalen's not willing to try things. Like throw it to Dallas Goedert, who's wide open in the middle of the field.
If they could have fixed it, if they can fix it, they would have fixed it by now.
Since they haven't tried, we can't say that. They haven't tried, so we can't say that.
Tried what?
They haven't tried to fix it. They keep doing the same things. They keep doing the same things over and over. So we don't know if they can fix it.
I would imagine they've tried.
No, they haven't tried.
I have a belief that they don't have the answer.
They haven't. Well, that could very well be.
And so that's not a lack of trying. It's a lack of knowledge.
No, they haven't tried. They haven't tried to do something different. They haven't tried to come out with a different game plan. They haven't tried to come out with something
different.
different.
They did against the Cowboys, and then they went away from it.
No, they were.
The first half, they threw the ball downfield. Then they said, we don't want to do this anymore because we don't want to turn the football over.
There are games, though, where they played a Cowboys style of offense, where they did show you that Cowboys style, and then they inexplicably go away from it.
Yeah.
They showed you that before. They could do that. They don't want to do that because Nick Sirianni is scared of his own shadow.
And I hate that. And I don't think that's changing anytime soon. All right, Dan Orlovsky was in attendance on Friday. So not only people come for our insight, obviously, John. Here was Dan Orlovsky yesterday on ESPN talking about his experience at the game on Friday.
I was in the building.
Oh.
To watch Chicago go in there and physically, offensively do what they did to Philadelphia's defense, it felt like a defense that knows the offense right now is not good, and they were just holding on. I have not seen anybody push around the Philadelphia Eagles defense the way that Chicago did. And so you're watching this defense almost like break. There's nothing left for us to do. We've tried to keep us in games as long as we can. And then you watch the offense, and the first third down of the game, they call a pass concept that only beats one coverage, and the boo birds come out, and the fans are going crazy. The fans are calling out plays before the plays are actually happening. Yeah. It's an offense right now that is painful to watch. And Chicago came and punked you in your place, in your building. It took far too long to throw Jalen or A.J. Brown the football, and to watch just a team that physically dominated the NFL last year in Philly get physically whooped on both sides of the line of scrimmage the way that the Chicago Bears did. With all due respect to the Bears, I wouldn't want to play them. I think this is the best offensive line in the NFC right now, along with the Rams. That's a brutal loss for the Philadelphia Eagles in their building.
I think the thing he said early on was the most impactful one, which is what we've been saying. Like, at some point, the defense is going to be like, I can't. Another 3 and out?
Another 3 and out.
And you saw it again where I know a lot of the talk on social media was, man, this defense is getting embarrassed. Yeah, 200-yard rushers is a bad day for a defense. But what if you kept on pointing out? How many points did the Bears have through 3 quarters?
It was 10-9.
At some point, they're not going to be able to just keep doing that.
By the way, there was one other thing in follow-up to our discussion yesterday. Watch, to all of you that were arguing in Connor's point of view, that 2-point conversion thing, go watch the All-22. Somebody who has the All-22, if you have the NFL Plus, go watch the Eagles sideline when Nick Sirianni went for the 2. You can see more of their reaction. And there are what the F reactions from players. What the F are we doing?
They realized the game was over at that moment.
There were players that did helmet, like putting the helmet down, like, what are you doing?
They realized the game
They were like, what the F are we doing here? And I'm telling you, that creates dissension when players don't understand what their coaches are doing. That creates dissension. And Nick Sirianni's decisions during games, the Detroit game, the Green Bay game, I'm telling you, his strategy, it's ridiculous.
Is the dream to repeat dead? Your text messages and Vegas has spoken. It's Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
When you're in business for around All
right, it's 8:40 on this Tuesday morning. Amy Fadul will join us for the entire 9 o'clock hour. So here's what we're going to do. We always love using our guests to help us push product. So we have 2 pairs of Sixers tickets to give away for the game against the Warriors. So it's Thursday night, December 4th at the Xfinity Mobile Arena. Get your single game tickets at Sixers.com. Always fun to see the Warriors. So we have 2 pairs to give away. What we will do is a little know the Amy, know the Fadul. First half of the 9 o'clock hour, as she just popped up stage right. It was incredible.
Know the Fadul.
We'll do a first half and a second half.
Okay.
So we'll around 9:30 we'll give away the first pair, and then toward the end of the show we'll give away a second pair.
So make sure you're knowing the Fadul early and knowing the Fadul late.
Yes. Why not have Madam Sixers to help us out while we're
the
host of the pre and post game show for NBC
God
Sports
bless
Philadelphia.
her. Yes.
At least Joe was back the other night.
Yeah. God. Yeah.
All right, give us a couple text messages, and then I want to update you on the world of Vegas when it comes to the Eagles and the Super Bowl.
I miss Vegas.
What do we got?
Sean checks in. Speaking of the big man being back on the floor, says, I have more confidence in Joel Embiid staying healthy for a full 82-game schedule than the Eagles repeating this year. I'm not giving up on them, but until something changes, I don't know what to think or what to hold on to.
You have already given up on them because Embiid is not playing 82 games anytime soon. So you gave up on him.
Yeah.
Period. But what else we got?
All right. Brian in Somerton checks in on that conversation about the belief, and he says, John, what don't you get? The offense is bad, so bad that the defense is on the field way too long. They're going to be gassed by the postseason. Thus, the offense and defense will both be bad. There's no way.
I definitely agree with the statement that the gentleman has, that the offense has been really on a bad streak, but I don't believe in the next 5 games that things are going to go the way that they have in the past 4 games.
You think the offense is going to look better?
Yes, because of the opponents, and I believe that the defense is
what
not.
What happened against Chicago?
Chicago's the 1 seed in the NFC.
They have one of the worst ranked defenses in the NFL.
Okay, but I got you. I don't. We're gonna watch this play out. I believe this is the greatest overreaction ever by both of you to call the season dead on December 2nd. To say they have 0.00, like a
I'd go
like
less
Spicoli,
if I could.
To go 0.00 chance at the repeat, to me is wild. Now, if you were to come in today and say you were both at 10, 15%, I absolutely wouldn't blink and wouldn't argue with you. I would disagree with your number, but I wouldn't blink and I wouldn't argue with you because I think to say it's zero is absurd to me.
So what would be your percentage chance that they would repeat? 25?
No, that they could repeat 1 in 5 right now. What I've seen, 20%.
You're giving this team a 20% chance to win the Super Bowl?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
I absolutely am. If they finish as the 2 seed, I'll absolutely give them a 20% chance.
All right, so you're Mr. Vegas.
Yes.
You love Vegas.
And I'm disgusted because 2025, I will not set foot in Vegas.
To win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
All of the top 4 teams are NFC teams, by the way. So that tells you how much respect Vegas has for the NFC and how little respect they have for the AFC.
I'm a little surprised by that, by the way.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 are all AFC teams. So the top 4 are NFC teams. The next 6 are AFC teams. I'll go 10-1 for you. Chiefs at 10, Ravens, Colts, Broncos, Bills, Patriots. So now your top 4.
Is that that was after last night?
Yeah.
Okay.
The Eagles are 4th. Well, tied with the Packers for 3rd.
Okay.
Seahawks at 2, Rams at 1 to win the Super Bowl. To win the conference, sometimes those odds shift a little bit. They still have the Eagles tied with the Packers. They have the Rams at plus 250 to win the conference.
Here's why I hate those odds, why I don't think they're correct. Either the Rams or the Seahawks are going to have to win 3 road games to go to the Super Bowl. They're not doing that. It's happened 3 times in the modern era, but I'm not going to bet on it happening. So, especially in a rugged NFC. So either the Rams or the Seahawks, whoever's the second-place team, is not going to win 3 to go to the Super Bowl. So I don't get that they would be 1-2 in the rankings as far as Super Bowl odds. So that's the only thing.
Unless they think those are the 2 best teams in the NFC.
They could, but only one of them can finish 1, so poop or get off the pot, as far as the spots. Seahawks are really good, and I've been telling you, I think the Seahawks, I know Connor doesn't believe in them. I believe the Seahawks.
No, he doesn't believe in one person.
Yeah, but that means you don't believe in the Seahawks. That believes you don't believe in the Seahawks.
They got a great defense.
But you don't believe the Seahawks can win.
There's less of a chance of Sam Darnold lifting the Super Bowl trophy than there is the Eagles.
You didn't think they could win a playoff game, you had said before. Now, are you changing on that?
Depends who they match up with.
Now we're changing. You said they could not win a playoff game with Sam Darnold, and I have the date.
Yeah, he stinks.
Johnny Marks has chimed in.
Yes.
Once it's more clear who will win the NFC West, the other team's odds will plummet.
Oh, yeah, they will.
Because right now they're both 9-3, right?
They're both 9-3. Yeah. Rams hold the edge because the Rams beat them head-to-head.
Correct, but they still have one more game.
They play at the Seahawks on it. By the way,
December 18th.
Thursday night before your birthday.
Yeah, it's great.
We've got 2 critical NFC games. We got the Cowboys at the Lions coming up this week, and then the Seahawks at the Rams. It's unbelievable. It's going to be fantastic.
No, it's tremendous theater with what we got. What's the game sandwich in between? Oh, another big one.
What?
Falcons-Bucks.
Falcons-Bucks. Well, it could be big. It could be
for
big.
The Bucks.
No, it could be big because we're going to be big Falcon fans because we're going to hope that the Falcons beat the Bucks.
Good point. What else?
We just want to make sure we don't fall into that little trap.
What else we got on the text line?
Darren in Westchester says Eagles to repeat. They're going to limp into the playoffs and be out in the first round.
It's got that feel, the 23 feel.
Yeah,
it totally has it. Like, I love your optimism, John, and I love your view of the path and how the path could still get you to the 2 seed. The path could also get you to the 4 seed. The path mathematically could still get you out of the NFC East, which I do not believe that's going to happen.
No, I don't believe that's happening. I
don't think it's going to, because if the Eagles win, I said what, 3-2?
If the Eagles go
11 wins.
If the Eagles go 3-2, the Eagles' magic number is 4 to win the division.
The Cowboys would have to win out.
The Cowboys would have to win out.
Yeah, and I don't think that's happening.
They could.
I don't think that's
happening. They're playing really good football.
At the Lions.
I know they're playing good football.
At the Lions, Vikings at home, Chargers at home, at the Commanders versus the Giants at home.
Let's go Lions.
They could absolutely.
I need some kneecaps. Kneecaps being bit.
We need the Lions to win. And then the Eagles have to win 3 of their last 5. If the Lions win, you got to win 3 of your last 5. That's all you got to do.
I'm going to be a big Jared Goff fan on Thursday.
And you're never a big Jared Goff.
Yeah, that makes you
rooting for him. You're rooting for him.
Rob, by the way, did not practice yesterday. So that's going to be interesting.
It didn't look good.
No, it was not a good-looking injury, but and at least – a week, I don't know. We'll see.
It'd be a plummet.
Go Lions. I need kneecaps to be devoured.
If the Cowboys win on Thursday night, oh, man, sphincters are going to be tight.
All right, coming up next, what does Amy think about the Eagles' dream to the repeat? We ask her next. She joins us for the remainder of the show. Don't forget, know the Fadul, know the Amy. 2 pairs of Sixers tickets, 1 in the first half, 1 in the second half. It is Kincade Salciunas here on 97.5 The Fanatic. During the winter months, oh boy, the weather outside is frightful. You and your family spend a lot more time indoors decorating for the holidays. Some of us have already done that. Baking, maybe you'll be watching movies or new, maybe Stranger Things. You're going to take a look around. You're going to see some easy do-it-yourself projects like touching up painted walls or cleaning your windows. Well, what about some of the other things that are not easy do-it-yourself projects like cracked bricks, basement floor, concrete cracks, floor and wall gaps, bowed basement walls, cracked chimneys? The experts are here to help. Groundworks. They are the experts. It may seem overwhelming to you, but rest assured you're not an expert, so that's why it's overwhelming to you, right? Like calculus is overwhelming to me because I'm not an expert. I'm also not an expert at wall repair. That's why I have Groundworks come out and take care of it. Groundworks certified field inspectors can come on out, explain exactly what is happening to your floors, identify your permanent solution, and provide you with a no-pressure quote. They do all of that I just mentioned for free. It's just the job itself you pay for. So check them out online, groundworks.com. Groundworks. There's a reason why. They're the trusted local experts.
Now, on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Making the same mistakes. I'm Connor Thomas, and NFL Week 13 closes, and the Eagles, well, they got a lot of questions about where their season is heading. 8-4 is their record, and they're still the favorites to win the NFC East. But Nick Sirianni talked yesterday about the changes that need to be made and making the same mistakes.
Obviously, as we think through it, we're hypercritical on ourselves as well and say to ourselves, well, we might have thought this was the best going in, but as we look at it, we have to change some things too. You can't just keep doing the same thing over and over and over again, expect different results.
And those changes need to come sooner rather than later with the playoffs coming in about a month. They have the Chargers on Monday night in L.A. Maybe no Justin Herbert, who underwent hand surgery yesterday. He has a fracture in his non-throwing hand. His status is up in the air. It'd be Trey Lance for the Chargers, if not Herbert. The Flyers fell to the Penguins 5-1 last night. Sidney Crosby, 2 goals for Pittsburgh. The Flyers have the night off. They'll be back against the Sabres at home on Wednesday. Sixers play the Wizards at home tonight, 7 p.m. tip-off. Joel Embiid is out for tonight's game, but you can hear that game live here on The Fanatic. Amy Fadul joins the guys coming up next. She'll be with us for the remainder of the show. This update is brought to you by Family and Company Jewelers. Check off your whole list with one stop to Family and Company Jewelers, South Jersey's holiday diamond destination, Route 70 in Marlton, New Jersey, or online at FamilyJewelers.com. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and the Best Birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
6 here on Kincade Salciunas 97.5, The Fanatic on this Tuesday morning, which means now until the end of the show, we are joined by the great Amy Fadul. Amy, good morning.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning.
So, Amy, today's been an interesting day where
Yes.
John and I have battled.
We're battling.
I know.
A lot.
I've listened.
My incredible analysis. Like, I'm surprised NBC Sports Philadelphia has not hired me yet.
Yeah, we'll call you.
To replace, like, Barrett. Like, what, just because he played football?
Blah, blah, blah.
Like, my analysis of the Eagles' offense sucks.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's really insightful.
Maybe at the holidays, somebody calls out sick.
Listen, when it looks like it does, you got to – there's not a whole lot of flowery words you need with it, right?
That's all I needed to say.
Now, here's why I'm going to say BS to that, because Amy did post games last year for that Sixers team, and I
use lots of words,
and I never heard shallow pool analysis like that ever.
Yeah, but sometimes you just need to give shallow pool, and I think right now it calls for it when it comes to the Eagles offense that has 10 of 11 returning starters from last year, a Super Bowl MVP, a guy that almost broke Eric Dickerson's record at running back. A.J. Brown, who's supposed to go down as the best wide receiver in Eagles franchise history. We always talk about how the offensive line is the best offensive line in football, and yet they can't score points against one of the worst defenses in the NFL in the Chicago Bears on Friday. So, Amy, I'll ask you the question that we've been debating today. Is the dream of the repeat dead in your eyes for the Philadelphia Eagles?
Dead is such a strong, definitive word, but man, I mean, life support isn't. Maybe that's too strong. It is hovering in that area where maybe it's seeing the light and it's deciding to go towards the light. It's thinking it's like I'm hanging on by a thread here. Okay?
If they came in and said that today, I told them I would have no problem and I would understand it. Yeah. But it's dead.
It's dead.
This team has no chance. With the players that are in this organization,
you never know.
And the same thing in 23.
The problem with
I did not.
All the in 2023.
I did not say in 23.
I think you saw like the wheels had really come off. And also that 10-1 was fool's gold. That was not a 10-1
I said
team.
the exact opposite in 23.
No, but the players on offense. I kept on saying, but the offense, the talent. I
thought they'd win the game at Tampa Bay, and I thought that was where the season would end. I did think they were going to win that game at Tampa Bay.
You might have been the only person in the Delaware Valley.
We both picked it, did we?
I remember
thought
thinking
the Eagles were going to win.
I said 17-13. They were going to win that game.
God bless.
Remember, Baker was on a bum ankle.
Yeah,
yes,
remember Baker was hurt.
Oh, I remember.
Yes.
First of all, they just can't win in Tampa. That was like this first strike. But
yeah, and then they finally win this year.
Yeah, exactly.
They win this year.
And then now the wheels have come off. But I feel like a lot of the things about what you said from last year to this year are true on its face, but that line is not the same.
It's not.
Right? They're banged up. The loss of Mekhi Becton, I think, is a little bit more than we thought it was. But not having Lane Johnson out there, even when he was out there hurt, Cam Jurgens obviously being hurt. We know Leonard Dickerson is banged up as well. That's big. And you look at the way that Saquon Barkley runs, and I know the question's been asked about why not give a little Tank Bigsby a little bit more love because he seems to run north-south a little harder.
Yeah.
I get that. I'm like, why not?
And Nick Sirianni and the Eagles flipped you off.
Yeah, they were like, that's a ridiculous statement. I'm like,
we're not going to give him a carry. He played one snap.
It's not the most ridiculous thing you ever saw. Like, at some point, you have to do something different because, what is it, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result.
So to that, I want to play this clip. As you're listening to 97.5 The Fanatic, WPEN, HD1 Burlington, Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group station broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studio, powering possibilities. Nick Sirianni, cut 10, Connor. Nick Sirianni said this during his press conference yesterday, and it drove me nuts because every once in a while, and it seems like we're clicking on all cylinders right now, the non-sports people, right? Like when it comes to the Phillies needing a right-handed power bat, Rob Thompson said during the postseason press conference, I think our lineup's a little left-handed heavy. It's like, wow, we've been saying that for 2 years now.
2 years.
But I'm glad you realized that.
Good.
This was Nick Sirianni yesterday talking about the Eagles' offense.
as we go through game planning, we're always thinking about how we help guys do their jobs better, how we attack versus different looks, what you do well, what you don't do so well. That's done. But obviously, as we think through it and look at it, we're hypercritical on ourselves as well and say to ourselves, well, we might have thought this was the best going in, but as we look at it, we have to change some things too. You can't just keep doing the same thing over and over and over again, expect different results. So we're hypercritical on ourselves. We're looking for ways to help the guys more be able to execute better. And it always goes hand in hand right there. So what necessarily worked for us in the past doesn't always mean it's going to necessarily work for you in the future. And so that's what the weekend was about, of looking at ourselves first, because we're going to ask our players to look at themselves and everyone looking internally.
Amy, this is the same coach that after the 2022 season said to Jeff McClain in a one-on-one interview, we don't think we need to change the offense. We just need to improve upon what we've already done well. And then this is the same head coach of the Super Bowl winning Philadelphia Eagles that everybody in the world knew they're going to try to stop Saquon. Like, that's going to be the job of defenses this year. And yet they run inside zones and hitch routes. Like, it's the same coach for all of this that has overseen this already. We are 12 weeks in, and you're just realizing now on December 1st we need to try something different.
And the thing is, he says, like, oh, we do it every week. Have you, though? Because we're all watching it. The eye test is that, listen, like you said, if I sat there and, like, diagnose all of these offensive plays and look at all 22 and, like, knew where everybody was going at all times and trying to decipher their plays. No, but I look at the all 22 tape. It looks the same. Yeah. It doesn't take a football savant to realize, yeah, maybe you have a tweak here and there, but it's the same plays.
Up until last week,
over and over again.
The A.J. Brown route tree that people post every week, it's the same
thing. If you could do like an overlay,
week.
Yeah, you could do an overlay, and you would maybe have one or two variations in 12 weeks of football.
You lived through the end of Doug Peterson's administration.
Yes.
After he won a Super Bowl, first of all, I asked the first question. Did you see a change in him with the media, with his... when he was questioned?
You mean like he got a little bit chesty?
Yeah.
A little bit, but I don't know.
He loved dropping the "I played."
Do you believe?
I was going to say, he's a former player. I didn't know if you knew.
I believe that. I'm seeing
chestiness?
The chestiness from Sirianni, and he's not an ex-player. He's not a guy who, with Peterson.
Mount Union.
Well, believe me. When I get that from Doug Peterson, I go, okay, ex-quarterback, I understand it, been in the huddles, been in the thing. Nick Sirianni's gotten very arrogant to me. I take his I think he's almost at some of the questions to me when I watch the press conferences.
Especially about Patullo.
You watch them.
I think that's it. So I think Sirianni is who he's always been. He's always kind of had this air, and I get it. He's a guy that has to prove as like a small college player, made his way up. Kind of, I think he's always had that, that goes back to the very first press conference.
And if it drives him, that's great, right?
Exactly. Yeah. And I'm fine with how he is. I think that's how he is. He always kind of feels like he has to justify everything. This year, I think you see it more so because he's justifying his guy. More so than it. So Brian Johnson may have been his guy, but that was really Jalen Hurts' guy, remember? So that was kind of like a tangentially related to him. This is legitimately his guy, and Kevin Patullo came with him from Indianapolis. They've been together a long time.
Same plane.
And so I feel like
they've been together since San Diego, I
think. I mean, you're going back decade. Well over a decade. As far as them coming up together, and then, when every time Nick would make the move, here would come Kevin. So I think that he has that natural bristle of, don't doubt me. I know I didn't play at the highest level, but I do know football type of vibe, which I get, and I understand that. Sure. And now you're talking about his guy. I think that's where that comes from. I don't know if it's any more than he had last year or the year before, because you saw it in 2023, even when he was contrite after that disaster of an end of the season. I think you saw a little bit of we did some good things. Yeah, we started 10-1. At some point, you just have to fall on the sword there, Sirianni, don't you? Just say, that was awful.
Yeah,
but the real falling on the sword, not just saying, starts with me.
Because he said, by the way, he's done that 7.
Well, it does start with him.
7 times.
The problem is he doesn't realize that it also ends with him.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, is 7 times he has used something along the terms of, and I went back to all his post-game press conferences this year because I'm a dork. and found him saying something along the lines of, "We will go back. We're not going to leave any stone unturned.
Right, we're gonna
be
examine
critical.
it.
We're going to examine
Evaluate
it, and then
everything.
everything." But nothing ever changes. So to me, they're not doing anything with their analysis. They're not doing anything.
This is a
with
town that we survived Andy Reid of every single time.
I gotta do better.
Gotta
job.
have a ham sandwich.
Got to put him in a better position.
My favorite one with Doug, I think it was McClain asked him, like, "Hey, Carson's been missing these cupcake or easy throws." Well, Jeff, you never played in the league, so there's no such thing as an easy throw.
Oh.
And then that was his thing,
he got on a roll with that.
I played quarterback. And first off, it's like, I love Doug. So I'm saying this is, dude, like, you made
Dougie ice cream. Come on.
You were in the league. Like, you played.
Yes, correct. Check.
Some quarterbacks had a little bit more success than you did.
You did play. You wore a helmet, and occasionally you were out there on the field.
Now, in his defense, I don't know that there is an easy throw for Carson Wentz anymore, so maybe he was right.
Anymore. Yes.
Carson Wentz.
What about Jalen Hurts?
Well,
easy throws?
Yeah, screen
There
passes.
haven't been a lot of them.
all right.
Do you like screen passes? We got
Coming up
screen
next.
passes.
Hate him.
Amy, John thinks I'm crazy. He thinks Connor's crazy. And anybody that says 0% chance is crazy.
Zero. I can't
He is
go
going
zero.
to-
Amy's on Team
I can't
Kincade
go
with us.
zero.
She can't go zero.
I would say
either.
like 1%.
John will give his reasons
You're calling
next.
the funeral home, Amy.
I told you they saw the light.
John will give his reasons next, and I want you to react to them.
Okay.
And I'm curious what the resume means to you. It is Kincade and Salciunas here on 97.5 The Fanatic. Dream still alive for the repeat. Earlier, when we first asked the question, we got some of the immediate responses on YouTube, and I always love our YouTube community. For the majority of them, they're here like the whole show. So the people that were brave enough to answer, I tallied 4 said dead, 1 said legitimately alive, and the other ones were like 0.01% or 1% or 2%.
Yeah.
So technically alive.
Yes.
Yep.
But with a lot of help.
Yes.
So, John, explain your reasons to Amy.
You gave what, 25%?
I say 20%.
Oh, good.
1 out of 5.
And explain your reasons why you
Because
feel this.
I am looking at the path, and I believe we are going to be talking about the 2 seed in the NFC.
Okay.
And so if they're the 2 seed and they get 2 games in South Philly, this is what I asked them. I said, so you guys are both telling me right now you think they're going to lose one of those games at home in the NFC in January.
Yeah.
I do not. I think that they will not. I'm not just going to assume that they lose in January at home. The Eagles, since 2022, have the best record against teams with winning 60% of their games in the NFC. So the Eagles, and this is these same players, and by the way, that record is also encompassed by this year's team, who is the best team in the NFC against beating good teams. They are. They go and they beat the Rams, and they beat the Lions, and they beat the Packers, and they beat the Buccaneers. And yes, it has been a crappy run, but I do believe this last month they're going to get right because the competition's going to get bad. And that's going to give them, I think this team is mental. And I'm not trying to be flippant about it, but I believe they are a mentally fragile bunch. And I think that mentally fragile people can go positive, negative, very, very, it can swing quickly. And I think when you have Chargers, Raiders, Commanders, Bills, Commanders, you could potentially end up with, wow, we got a lot of good feelings. We're playing against some bad defenses. In fact, there's really bad defenses. Things could start to look cosmetically better. People start to feel better about themselves. And this team then, the bad feelings start to fade off.
Look good, feel good.
Yes, look good, feel good. That
Feel
then
good, play
gives
good.
them, then
plays good?
Negativity starts, once the negativity dies down. And I think that this also, they live in a pressure cooker of negativity. That then if they have a 4-1 finish here and end 12-5 and end up the 2 seed, which I think if they're 12-5 they will, to me a lot of the negativity goes away.
Yeah, I hear you, and I do agree in the one sense that I think that you can manifest better vibes, better momentum, positive momentum, and then you do, because you can get mired down in it. We've all been part of teams where you're sitting there and it's like you start to look around, you're like, well, this isn't going to go well. And then as soon as that mindset enters your brain, you're like, well, that's not good, because then you can take it downhill. The problem is I don't know if the actual physical operation of the team can overcome any positive vibes that they might get from beating a Commanders team that's, limping in to the link.
Right. Like the O-line, is it going to get healthier? I don't.
Well, no, the
think so.
O-line, by all accounts, Lane will be back.
Yes.
And there's nothing about the injuries to the guys that is not expected to get, that they don't expect to improve. They don't expect to feel better. Now, of course,
I'm going to need them to feel a little bit better because they look pretty bad.
No, they look. They don't look themselves.
And you know that's still all Nick Sirianni wants to rely on.
And I get it. They've married themselves to the run identity, and our offensive line is the top offensive line. That's the identity they had from 2024. The problem is that's not true in 2025, and there's been a reluctance to try to change the style because of that, because they're so married to, we're going to win the trenches battle. You're not winning. You mentioned the bad defenses. The run defense for the Bears is one of the worst in the league. Their overall defense, but the thing the Bears do is they take the ball away. They entered that game with 24 takeaways. That was most in the league. The only thing you couldn't do was turn the ball over. And what did the Eagles do? So that, to me, they
did it twice.
And Jalen Hurts never does that.
Yeah.
And he did it. And you're thinking that kind of mentality is really hard to overcome, even if you have a couple of like false wins.
And Andrew pointed out they didn't exploit the missing 3 linebackers, and with the running game.
How?
And I'm going with Dallas Goedert. How did they not do it? How did they not do it?
It's things like that. You really hope that what they said about evaluating and whatever. And I get that their schedule is easier on its face. But if you're telling me that Bears team is the top team in the NFC, I'm saying that the NFC is not as good as I thought they were.
Okay, so then that brings us to the other one. That's another reason.
But I think there's other teams that are better.
And who are they? And the Eagles have beaten them all.
They have.
The
that
Eagles have
Rams
beaten every one of them.
technically a win.
Yeah.
It went down as a W.
Oh, no, and that's the one that I do say. It is a win.
It's a win.
But that's the one where it took a freaking miracle.
But I'll also say
to win
it was a win in September.
Correct.
And the two teams have gone in different directions since then.
And then Sunday was.
And the Packers team looks a lot different. That was not even that long
ago.
ago.
Go read the Rams coverage from yesterday. I would encourage everybody to go read the Rams coverage from the people who cover the Rams.
That one is tough
yesterday.
for me. A West Coast team coming to the East Coast for a 1 o'clock game. When I looked at the line of that one, not that I'm into that thing, but if you were, 10.5, and I thought, you know where I'm not going to put my money is a West Coast team coming for a 1 o'clock game by winning by.
By the way,
that was my first pick of the week. Take the 10.5.
Yeah,
by the way, their previous 3 weeks, they beat the Niners in San Fran. They won their divisional matchup with the Seahawks, and they spanked the Bucs.
Smoked the Bucs.
So, that's 3 straight.
Granted, Baker Mayfield led that game.
Right. But that was 3 straight really good wins, and then they dropped one. And,
they were probably due. That's a tough sledding.
Look, I understand what you're saying with the resume thing, John.
That's why I say it's just.
I do.
And all I'm saying to you and Connor is saying they have zero shot.
I'm not ready to say
ridiculous.
Zero, but it is a very low percentage.
Said to me, if you said to me like Amy, they're at death's door, and the family's gathering, I would have no issue with it. But when you guys say there's no shot, I think that is complete disrespect.
Well, all right, so we're
never
talking,
know.
Are you changing?
Sorry to get vulgar here. No.
Okay.
No. I'm going to ask you a question. I know. Sorry for vulgar. Death's door. If they're at death's door, right?
All right.
How much longer until death's door is like death?
Well, it depends. They may not. They may rally.
There's people that hang on for a really
long
time.
They may rally.
Right.
They have the reason to believe that this team can rally.
Back-to-back weeks.
But I don't want it to be delusional reasoning. You know what I mean? I want it to be like, hey, we have a chance. Here's what we need to do. Instead of like, well, it'll just all come together.
Well, the rallying would be is this. What I would say to you is this. No team has ever, only one team in the 32-team
league.
Since the Houston Texans came in.
Correct.
ESPN stats and information. Only one NFC team has ever had 4 tiebreakers, held 4 tiebreakers at this point in the season.
It's happened in the AFC numerous times.
The Eagles have 4 tiebreakers. Rams, Bucks, Packers, and Lions.
It's great. That's actually going to pay dividends.
So it's sort of the Eagles are having
they're going to get set up for success. My issue is I haven't seen anything in the previous 12 weeks to show that they've been able to change any of the problems. That's my.
They also have to
issue.
win games to have these tiebreakers.
Oh, no question.
Exactly.
No
for them to come into play.
They gotta win
you got to
football
get in the
games.
tiebreak conversation.
They got to end their losing streak.
No, all they got to do is win the division first, and then see what happens. Then all those other tiebreakers won't really matter.
Anyone thinking about 2008 at all?
Oh, boy.
Well, when you needed 7 different things to happen?
Nope. The last time there was a repeat division champion in the NFC.
No, I'm not thinking about it.
Because I am.
Oh, boy.
That's gross.
What? That's disgusting.
Coming up next.
Can't help it.
The new talking point for a lot of people is that now mainly Jalen Hurts is a problem. If you ask the list of people I have in front of me, they won't say so. We'll discuss that next. It's Kincade Salciunas. Amy with us. We'll ask our first Know the Fadul question in the next segment as well for the Sixers tickets here on the Fanatic.
I'm going to tell you that every day someone in our community is looking for a second chance. They need one. It's a way forward after addiction has taken something from their lives, their ability to bounce back. And believe it or not, something as simple as a used vehicle that you have can help make that happen for them. So let's say you got a truck or a boat or a car or a motorcycle or an RV, and it's reached the end of the usefulness for you. Well, why don't you donate it to the Salvation Army? The Salvation Army can take that vehicle, and it can help somebody rebuild their life, find stability, and discover some hope again. Because the Salvation Army has been changing lives for nearly 150 years. And your kindness continues to make that possible. By donating, it's simple. you call 800-SA-TRUCK, Salvation Army, 800-SA-TRUCK, or go to satruck.org and schedule a pickup. They're going to come right to your home. They're going to tow the vehicle at no charge. They're going to give you an IRS-approved receipt. And that used vehicle in your driveway could end up being the turning point in someone else's life. So let's say you got that car, that truck, that motorcycle, that RV that you want to part ways with. Do it today for a great reason. Call 800-SA-TRUCK or visit satruck.org and help the Salvation Army continue to do the most good.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Moving on to Week 14, I'm Connor Thomas, and NFL Week 13 has come to a close. The Eagles, well, they've lost 2 straight, including the one to the Bears this past Friday, and their potential for another deep playoff run is now in question. At 8-4, they're still the favorites to win their division, but Nick Sirianni talked yesterday about the lessons the team needs to learn, not just from their recent struggles, but from past seasons.
The lessons we learned in 23 resulted in kind of what happened last year. So, of course, win, lose, or draw, you're always constantly trying to learn and get better. Sometimes that sting of the loss has even more impact.
Hopefully those lessons get learned soon, though, because the Eagles have another big matchup, a primetime game with the Chargers out in L.A. Quarterback Justin Herbert underwent hand surgery yesterday, non-throwing hand, stabilizing a fracture. His status is uncertain for Monday. We'll keep an eye on that closely. The Flyers fell to the Penguins 5-1 last night. Of course, it was Sidney Crosby with 2 goals for Pittsburgh. The Flyers have the night off tonight. They're back home against the Sabres tomorrow. The Sixers play the Wizards at home tonight, 7 p.m. tip-off. Joel Embiid is out for tonight's game. You can hear that game live here on The Fanatic. Amy Fadul remains with us for the remainder of the show. This update is brought to you by Mercedes-Benz. Despite wintry conditions and heavy traffic, holidays must go on. That's why Mercedes-Benz SUVs come with the latest safety technology. Find incredible offers at the Mercedes-Benz Holiday Love Celebration. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and the best birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
MLB free agency has started, and now
at the Fanatic. We'll get back to our text messages momentarily. Our question is the road to the repeat dead. Our first Know the Amy, Know the Fadul question for the pair of Sixers tickets for Thursday's night.
Something about it just sounds funny.
Thursday night against the Warriors at the Xfinity Mobile Arena. So December 4th, get your single game tickets at Sixers.com. Amy Fadul gave this percentage chance for the Eagles to get back to and win the Super Bowl. What number was that? The first person to get it right will win the pair of tickets for the Sixers-Warriors game. We have a second pair to give away during the second half of this hour. All right, real quick before we get back to our text. So there's been this new swing that it's now all Jalen Hurts' fault, right? Or he deserves the majority of the blame. And look, he sucked on Friday. He was bad, and I've not sugarcoated my lack of happiness for his season this year. I don't think he's played well at all, but he's played well enough to win, right? And that's exactly what Nick Sirianni wants. Don't turn the ball over. Yep. But there have been times where you've kind of needed him, and he's come up small. And Friday was a prime example of it. But I will say this again and again and again and again. Jalen Hurts does not all of a sudden suck, right?
Right.
Like, he doesn't.
You don't go from Super Bowl MVP to, like, whatever.
MVP finalist a couple of years ago. Two things have changed, right guard and offensive coordinator, and I'm not putting the blame on Tyler Steen.
Does the offense – Amy watches the tape every week. Does the tape look anything like last year's tape?
No. It's not even close.
No.
I mean, yeah, it doesn't take it.
So doesn't take a genius.
I'm just going to mention.
Nick Sirianni will tell us we're wrong.
I'm going to mention these.
He'll tell us we're wrong.
Four names that have been consistent with their message about this football team. All right. Dan Orlovsky. Fine. You want to be one of the people that says, "Oh, you mean the guy that ran out of bounds and
yeah, just
he stepped out the back of the end zone."
Back of the end zone guy.
Nick Foles. Super Bowl MVP and a god in the Philadelphia sports
kid
scene.
do no wrong.
Greg Cosell, who's been covering the league since John was in grade school. Not to age any of you guys. Kurt Warner, Super Bowl winner and Hall of Fame member. Mm-hmm. Those four names in the last couple of weeks have gotten louder and louder and louder on their podcasts or on social media or on interviews, you name it, about how this is not a Jalen Hurts thing, and this is the basic, very low-level scheme that they have been putting out there week in and week out. And predictable has been a word that's been used from players in-house, but I'm just mentioning the guys that do the film stuff.
Two of those guys are quarterbacks, right?
Yeah.
So one would think, and to quote Doug Peterson, three. Oh, that's right, three. Nick Foles. I forgot about Dan Orlovsky. Obviously, he was a quarterback. But Doug Peterson said it. There is something to be said if you're watching it, because those guys remember when Tony Romo first burst onto the scene? Everybody's like, how does he know all this stuff? Like, why is he calling all the plays? Because he's a quarterback. Like,
and he had just come off the field.
He had just come off the field. So those guys watch the game differently.
Right.
So there is something to it. Now, it doesn't mean you have to start your press conference and be like, well, I played football. But they see something in the play calling that, in their minds, is problematic. And I think that's what they're trying to voice. Like, this is not necessarily on, but the frustration and maybe the disconnect comes from the rest of us. We're all saying, we know, but at some point, Kurt Warner, Dan Orlovsky, Nick Foles, wouldn't you go to your offensive coordinator, your head coach, and be like, this isn't good. Whatever this is, let's do something different. Like, there has to be some kind of impetus put on the quarterback. He's the one out there performing with what we're seeing.
Has he not?
That's what I mean. We're never going to know
publicly. We got to stop playing not to lose. Was the quote after I keep on saying it, and that was 10 weeks ago.
Jalen Hurts said it. I mean, Jalen Hurts has said we have to not be afraid to throw it over the middle of the field. And then people say Jalen doesn't want to throw it over the middle of the field.
Well, now he did have a guy wide open in the field.
But he has twice said we have to. But that means they're.
And he
not
also says they need to protect the ball, and it's the number one important thing. So it's like, whatever you want to say is all well and good, but until you see whatever you need to see, like, you have to do something different. I think that's the most, like, we all see it. We all know the play calling, and I know they're not going to put it all on Kevin Patullo. And I'm not saying it's completely his fault. I think that they have to call things a certain way because of what they're dealing with, injury-wise and personnel-wise. But it's like not even one difference. You mentioned it. If you lay the A.J. Brown route tree, it's not even a tree. It's like there's 3 branches in it.
It's the Charlie Brown Christmas.
Yeah, exactly. There's this one.
It's a route weed.
Yeah.
Like it's just kind of
like
there.
sitting there.
Wait a minute though. 2. Let's just be honest, because there was another one on Friday. We also got to remember is AJ going to run the route, or is he going to quit on the route?
Yeah,
he quit on another one on Friday.
That's been a talking point as well.
That's been a problem with him.
It's just amazing, right? Because Amy, you bring up the offensive line being banged up, right?
Yes.
So you heard Nick in one of the clips talking about how, we got to try to get guys into certain positions, and if it's not going to work, that's on us. We got to find something else that works. So it is no mystery that the offensive line you're missing your right tackle, your left guard and your center are clearly banged up, right? Like that is no mystery. And yet they're still trying to play the same offense. Like, why?
And that's the thing.
Like pass blocking has gotten better, and it's better than the run blocking.
So why wouldn't you, I don't know, maybe try to air it out a little bit?
You kind of got to play with who you have. And sometimes you do have to change things based off of the players that are available.
I think you can go ahead and remove sometimes.
Yeah.
If you go into a game and you know your offensive line is not 100% healthy and that you have a running back that's not running the same way, which your eye test shows you. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with Saquon Barkley. He's not running the same way as he did last year.
Right.
The eye test shows that. Mm-hmm. Whether it's the line, whether it's something mentality, don't care, don't know.
So try something different.
Exactly. So that's my issue is like, instead of like trying to find the reasons behind it, that ship sailed.
Yeah.
Just do something different.
December.
Try to figure out, maybe if we try this, this, and this, it'll work on the run game. It's not working. Do something
I'm gonna
different.
Use a Sixers example that I like to use often. You guys have probably heard me say this before. Amy, I'm not sure if you've heard me say it. The year the Sixers acquired Al Horford, you go, all right, you have a gigantic team. You have Ben, you have Al Horford, you have Joel Embiid, you have Tobias Harris. Your 2 guard was Josh Richardson, who could not shoot.
Nope.
Right? So you had 4 big bodies on the court in your starting 5, and really 1 guy that could shoot a 3, and that was Joel Embiid. So try playing bully ball. Try playing a more physical brand of basketball. But what did Brett Brown want to do? He wanted to play Euro ball, and he wanted to chuck up a lot of threes.
Got to shoot the 3.
So that's kind of what I'm seeing now with the Eagles. You don't have a team to play the way you played last year. Whether it's health, whether it's defenses have figured it out, whatever it is, you can't. It's the whole square peg, round hole. Like,
not going to work.
Stop.
Not going to work. And I think that's where we do want to find the reason. I think that's when there's an issue, there's 2 kinds of people out there. Your problem solvers and people that just like scrap it and move on. And I think generally a lot of people are problem solvers. If someone comes to you and they say like, oh, here's what's going on, you want to help them solve their problem. Sometimes they just want to move on from it. They had the word diarrhea. They talked about it. Now they've moved on, which is great. That's where we all need to be. I don't care why it's happening anymore. That's gone for me. I don't care why. I know it's not happening, so I'm now moving on. Just do something different for the love of Pete. I can't watch it anymore.
I just don't understand how Nick Sirianni sits behind a microphone every week and tells us we're doing everything. No one's more critical of us than we are.
Doing it all.
And they don't change anything. And he doesn't like.
Yeah, just change it.
There's
stop telling us why and what. I don't.
Yeah, there's a lack of awareness here that is really, really lost on me at this point. Well, and by the way, their pass and again, there was something on NFL Live that they did recently. Their pass blocking has been pretty good.
Yeah.
And they're just resistant.
Yeah, so Andrew just said,
and they're just resistant to pass block, to like become a pass offense. They're just they're resistant to it.
Nick Sirianni's so scared to turn the ball over.
Exactly.
He's so scared. And Jalen's kind of scared too.
Oh, yes.
And that's the thing.
No, but
talk about the mentality. Now it's in their heads.
Yeah.
It's like, boom, too much.
They're pot committed to the hand they want to play, and they're trying to bluff themselves and anyone who will listen into the fact that it'll get better.
Could be.
But they're playing a losing hand.
Yep. It's not a good card strategy, Connor.
Let's hope the river's nice.
All right. Coming up next, I'm going to do some some really strong research during the commercial break.
Uh-oh.
Love it.
And I'll let you know what my research dictates when it comes to the Eagles. All right,
Oh,
Johnny?
boy.
You're going to laugh at me.
I am.
It's Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. 9:42 here on Kincade Salciunas 97.5 The Fanatic. I will tell you what my incredible research was here momentarily.
You were scribbling there
I was scribbling.
Might have been more studying than you did at Temple.
Yeah, 5 minutes. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. We have another pair of Sixers Warriors tickets to give away. We'll do Know the Amy by the end of the show. But before we do any of that, I want to take this call because there is something that starts tonight. Let's go to Chuck in New York. Chuck, you're on Kincade Salciunas.
First place, love listening to Amy. Love everybody on the show. My biggest thing with everything, and it's something that just nobody wants to talk about or reveal, is when are we going to find out what is going on between AJ and Jalen? Like, everybody alludes to it. Craig Cartman 2 years ago, said he knew what it was and it would divide a locker room. Deshaun Jackson, who's not going to win an Ed Moreau Award for journalism anytime soon, but still came out and was saying he knows what it is. It's not X's and O's. Like, why is nobody just going to say, like, there are plenty of people out there that want to get some clicks and videos and everything. Why can't somebody just reveal what this is that people are talking about, A? And then, B, why can't Ozempic Joe play a couple nights back to back? I'll let you guys listen.
Thanks for the call, Chuck. Look, when it comes to the Craig Carton thing, like, I don't know who you heard that
Here's what I love Craig.
Yeah.
I love Craig. I love Craig personally. I love Craig professionally. But you can't do the I know something you don't know. Yeah. I know something you don't know. Na. You can't do that.
Yeah.
Either you know something or you don't. And by the way, that happened in 2023. So say it. So say it.
Yeah,
right.
at this
You've
point.
had all the time. Say it.
But the quick answer is you will never find out exactly what happened.
If you knew it, you say it.
No one will. This is the old adage. There's AJ's side, there's Jalen's side,
Correct.
and then there's whatever actually happened.
And I believe that's the case.
So I think that there's something, obviously, there was a disconnect, whatever it was, and there's 3 different opinions on how it went down.
And I've heard different theories from different people. And so I believe Craig has probably heard one of those theories.
I'm sure
from one of
Deshaun
those
Jackson's heard one from.
Correct.
If I had to guess which side he heard from, I'm going to go ahead and say the receiver side.
Well, we already heard that on LaShawn McCoy.
They've texted, exactly.
LaShawn McCoy's podcast.
They've texted
where
each
the same
other.
thing. Well, I was texting with my boy AJ. That's what it is. So you hear stories from one side.
It'll be one of those things. Eventually, some semblance of what happened will come out eventually. But I don't think you'll ever get do you ever find out the real story of a lot of these things years down the road sometimes?
And I would also tell you that whatever story comes out, AJ's version of it, I will tend to believe less.
You think he's a diva?
Yes.
Well, if you're a good wide receiver, you should be.
I blame him for a lot of the mess of this year's vibes and energy because I think he conducts himself like a child.
I just wonder, it had to have been bad. Like, whatever it was.
He was a godfather.
Yeah. Like, it had to have been bad.
They were best friends. They used to we all remember the FaceTime. You're joining me. Let's go.
But here's what I would tell you, though, is that I know for a fact that they have dined and eaten at the same lunch table this year numerous times. So it's not so bad that they can't share a meal.
Right.
Those are big lunch tables.
I understand, but they're in close proximity.
Yeah, well, one would hope on the offense. I just remember when A.J. Brown got engaged and he had all those people at I think it was the Four Seasons.
Yeah. One person wasn't there.
I didn't see Jalen there.
It's like Bryce Harper.
Could have been out of town. It could have been getting engaged. I think that might have around the same time.
It was at the same time, I think.
So all right, you want this great research?
I do. I want the research.
I did W's and L's for every team.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
Did you really?
This is amazing.
Did you really?
You did study well.
Rams 13-4. They win the 1 seed in the NFC.
Okay, so you only have them losing one game the rest of the way.
Correct.
Okay.
The Packers, because of the tie, get them the 2 seed with 11-5-1. That tie is going to play a factor in one way or another, whether it's seeding, division, you name it.
So you have let me just look at this here. So you have the Packers going 3-2.
3-2. Yep.
Okay.
The Eagles, I also have 3-2, but because of the Packers tie, winning percentage, they have the nod. So the Eagles are the 3 seed. All right. Then the Bucs are the 4 seed. I think they hold on to the NFC South. Your wild card teams, Seahawks, also 13-4, going 4-1, but I think they lose to the Rams. So the Rams have the They win both games there. Niners 11-6, Bears 11-6. I have the Bears going 2-3.
See if the Bears collapsing.
I still make the playoffs.
See if the Bears losing twice to the Packers.
No, they have a difficult schedule. What did I do?
They do.
Yeah.
But you have
Bears,
the Bears,
Packers, Browns, Packers,
see if the
Niners.
Bears losing twice to the Packers.
I forget exactly what I did. I had them winning 2 games.
I thought you did wins
3.
losses here.
Yeah, and I didn't write down the wins and losses. I just
He just wrote down
the
number.
Yeah, because all I wanted to find out was seeding.
Okay, well, I'm trying to figure out who you have losing because the Bears. If you have the Bears losing 3 times, I'm wondering who you have the Bears losing to.
I think I had them.
Okay, wait. Let's do it.
Losing the Niners. I had them losing the Niners.
Okay, at the Niners.
It's in San Fran.
You have them losing at the Packers, at the Niners.
And then it's either one of the other Packers or Lions games. They're not going to lose.
Wow.
Yeah,
they're not losing.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't
They're
know.
not
Okay.
losing the Browns. So 2-3. So the Bears still make the playoffs. But I have the Eagles as a 3 seed. So if the season were to end with the Eagles as a 3 seed, they are hosting the Niners.
They
first
win.
round. I don't know what the Bears-Niners tiebreakers. It's 11.
They would
they're
win.
both 11-6. I don't know which team would be the 6th seed or the 7th seed.
Okay.
I didn't go that far in my crackpot research. All right.
You really only had like 3 minutes to like.
Yeah.
The Niners would. The Niners. Well, the Niners are the best team in the conference with.
Oh, and they play the
conference
Bears.
win.
So if they beat the Bears, then
Right.
that's the.
So that would be the. That would be the
So
one
that's
right
why.
there.
So I did actually write that down. So yeah, the Eagles will play the Niners in the first round of the playoffs. I still like the Eagles' chances in that one.
I would too.
I would. I
would like that.
Yeah, I like
so
that.
they'd win the first one. And by the way, I'm not going to do nanny boo boo on you and Connor of saying that they're dead. The dead doesn't mean I'm not going to say to you guys that they have to lose if they get a home playoff game, they lose the first one. But you can't then come in the next game and go, well, I think they're going to win that one too, because you guys say they're dead. They have no chance. Because if they win the second home game,
Yeah.
if you're telling me they could win a second home game, then you're not telling me their chances are dead.
Well, I had them as a 3 seed, so then they would be going to Green Bay.
So it wouldn't be a second home game, is what he's saying.
Yeah.
Unless the
Bears beat the Packers, which is a possibility.
Yeah.
Could happen.
Yeah, and then the Bears would have to come here, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
And the Eagles
And that would be
would never,
fun.
the Eagles would never lose to the Bears at home.
You don't think the Eagles? I think the Eagles could beat the Bears.
They could have.
I think the Eagles could beat the Bears.
Yeah,
in
they're
January in a playoff game, I absolutely think they
giving
could.
up 400 rushing yards.
Yeah, I think they absolutely could.
It's not like it was cold weather the last time they played.
I don't think that would happen again, but it's okay. It's okay.
They're so dead.
They're dead. You guys say it. I just don't want you.
I believe that
you
they
are
are
not.
dead.
I just don't want either one of you thinking I'm letting you move off that ledge.
And you don't get to go to the parade, apparently.
Yeah, that's funny. As people now look. By the way, Connor. So it's 3 different members of our community, including some of our YouTube, our listeners to post show headlines.
All right.
Say that love Connor. One of our listeners loves Connor the most.
And I love you, random
of our
citizen.
threesome. But absolutely does not want Connor or Andrew anywhere near a hype party if they're going to the NFC Championship game or near any parades or otherwise.
I got a parade.
Because if they're dead, they don't want you near it.
January 1st.
They don't want you. Oh, so you're going to go to the Mummers.
I'll go to the Mummers parade. So
You're allowed that one.
I can go to that parade.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, how are you
Actually,
two?
I'm not a Mummer.
Can I ask you though?
I'm not a fan of that.
Okay.
Actually.
So Aim,
Yes.
and I'm asking you to give these guys some advice. How are they going to hype up the community? It's NFC title game week, and the Eagles are in the game. How are these two going to hype?
I can get up for a game.
No, but how are you going to hype them up and say the?
They're going to say, what a miraculous turnaround. We were on death's door, knocking.
But
and
they're
you know
dead.
who didn't answer?
No, I came
Us.
back from the dead.
That's right.
No, are
That's
you
right.
gonna-
Undertaker.
they're
boom.
already dead.
Dead. The vampire rises.
So they're going to say I was wrong and they're alive.
No, this is what we'll do. $5 Corona drafts, Modelo's, and then once everybody
Come on down. Make you say hi.
Once everybody drinks
Say
enough,
hi.
I love that answer.
you know,
That's the best answer
You
of all.
slide it
We'll be
on
fine
in.
with that.
I love that answer.
All right, well, we'll sneak this one in. Amy just told the people that there are people online saying that Connor and I can't attend what? The first person to get that right will get our second pair of Sixers-Warriors tickets for this Thursday's game at the Xfinity Mobile Arena. Get your tickets at Sixers.com, 610-632-0975. What are Connor and I not allowed to attend? Amy just told the world.
Pierce Phelps Bryant Heating and Air Conditioning Contractors made a donation to the AACR, and you can too. Go to 975thefanatic.com/AACR. The American Association for Cancer Research. Hey, cancer research saves lives. Save mine.
Oh, damn right it did.
hey, be careful out there today. Slippery
Yeah,
roads,
seriously.
but everything looks pretty good in the Philly area, so you should be fine in this close to Philly.
Yes.
Very random question for you because I have nothing but food on my timeline because I do a lot of the cooking.
Oh, your
Oh,
algorithm.
no, food and Stranger Things
and Stranger
spoiled.
Things, yeah. How to make your own ice cream. Would you ever do that?
Yes, it's delicious.
You would make your own.
Yeah, there's actually really easy ways. You don't need to even do
Oh,
the
it
whole
looks
thing.
very simple.
Yeah.
But like I'll just go to the store and get my turkey
Why don't you
Hill.
go to if you go to a Home Goods, you can get one for like $40. The little.
You don't even
machines
need that. You
make
can literally just use like a loaf pan.
Really?
Yeah, no, I'm
Yeah.
watching the video of the loaf.
Yeah, it's something fun for you and your child to do.
Yeah.
You need an activity?
Or I'll just
Here's
open up a pint of Turkey Hill
Oh, there you go.
and say, "Here you go, kiddo. This is bonding time too.
It is bonding
Us
time.
eating the ice cream together.
Would I
can be
ever?
just
Yes.
as much of a
I
bonding
have done it.
All
Do
right,
I do
Amy.
it normally? No.
See, Amy.
You're the best.
Bye, you guys.
Thank you
I'll
as
be here
always.
tomorrow.
Oh, you'll be here tomorrow too?
10 to
Good.
2.
There you go.
Oh, nice. All right, with Johnny Marks.
Johnny
Middays
Marks.
with Marks
He's
comes
coming
your
up.
way next with Bahama Ray. He is back, and he is 0% tanner.
He's no tan. Just as pasty.
I think he's more white since he's come back.